deadlines for conversations over wine. Killing time, you and I. In this moment we're alive, infatuated with your eyes and the way they look at mine when we're killing time. There's something about the way you talk with your hand. The way that you say my name when nobody's there. No. You say it's alright, take your space if you need a break. And if I need to disconnect, that's okay. This ain't no race. Killing time, you and I. Hours, minutes, days and nights. Trading all of our deadlines for conversations over wine. Killing time, you and I. In this moment we're alive, infatuated with your eyes and the way they look at mine when we're killing time. Killing time, you and I. Hours, minutes, days and nights. Trading all of our deadlines for conversations over wine. Killing time, you and I. In this moment we're alive, infatuated with your eyes and the way they look at mine when we're killing time. Killing time.
She my pineapple, yeah. She's sour, she's so sweet. Yeah. She got an attitude, I call her pineapple, yeah. She's sweet with sour moods, I need another double. She got an attitude, I call her pineapple, yeah. She's sweet with sour moods, I guess she's all I'm after. My little girl got a sour side, but you know I'm a sucker for some sweetness. Every weekend pulls you in, she knows your weakness. I tell her she's my princess, she just wants to be queen. I call her pineapple if she says, what do you mean? She got an attitude, I call her pineapple, yeah. She's sweet with sour moods, I need another double. She got an attitude, I call her pineapple, yeah. She's sweet with sour moods, I guess she's all I'm after.
Yeah, take a slice and look inside. You see the sweet, the nice, the harmless vice, the cold as ice. I need my pineapple consistently. I eat religiously, I need my sweetness instantly.
And every time that she's around, she's sweet, I'm signing this, she's sour. Just wait an hour, my little flower. And every time that she's around, she's sweet, I'm signing this, she's sour. Just wait an hour, my little flower. She might be everything I need, but she's so sour, yeah. But she's so sour. If only she was just as sweet, but she's too sour, yeah. Yeah, she's too sour. She got an attitude, I call her pineapple, yeah. She's sweet with sour moods, I need another double. She got an attitude, I call her pineapple, yeah. She's sweet with sour moods, I guess she's all I'm after. She got an attitude, is all I'm after.
Did you notice I've been lost, staying up to the break of dawn, hoping that you'll show a little warmth, but you know I feel the coldest when I'm wrapped around your finger. Did you notice that you put me through the wrinkle when you said that you needed solace that I can't offer you? I found the light in all this, something to get me through. Now every day is a challenge, top down, blowing smoke out. It's not good for my balance. It sounds great, but I'm burnt out. 'Cause now the drugs aren't working. I've taken all I can, but my heart's still hurting. This can't be all I am. 'Cause leaving me so lonely only left me half a man. Now the highs aren't worth it. The drugs aren't working. Did you notice when I passed you yesterday that I was frozen? Thinking, flashing back, I can't live in the moment. My heart's still in the past, but we ain't spoken since you left me broken. When you said that you needed solace that I can't offer you, I found the light in all this, something to get me through. Now every day is a challenge, top down, blowing smoke out. It's not good for my balance. It sounds great, but I'm burnt out. 'Cause now the drugs aren't working. I've taken all I can.
Hello there, hello everyone. Forgot to put my fucking lamp on again. How are we, everyone? Welcome to the Happy Hour. You saw the pig intro, it's the Happy Hour, obviously. I'm Kevin Logan and I'm dying, so that's good. And joining me as ever, it's the hypochondria triggerer of academia. It's Dr. Kristi Winters.
Look, just because you said you were feeling sick, and I went, I hope it's not COVID.
No. Specifically, you said, I hope you're not worried it's COVID.
Right.
Which I wasn't.
I wasn't. Right.
Nah, I'm only joking. I look, if I die, please all make jokes about me. It would be funny. And I will haunt you all, obviously, but that was going to happen anyway, so you might as well have a laugh. Anyway, how are you, Kristi?
Well, I have been marinating in impeachment sauce. Is that possible? I've been catching up. We discussed before on air that I had a late night last night with D&D, so I laid my head down at 7:30.
She had 2 days last night. Good for her.
I did, and got like an hour and a half nap in. But then I had to watch the impeachment testimony on like 1.25 and 1.5 speed in order to get caught up. And as we were going live on air, I had gotten as far as Congressman Stacey Plaskett, who mentioned Nick Funes.
Nick Funes
came up on the floor of the Senate today.
Well, that is bad.
I'm sure he'll feel special.
Yeah.
As an example of a criminal inspired by Donald Trump, of course. But so we're going to talk about the impeachment because it's a whole thing.
It is literally a whole thing. Yes, it is a thing that's happening.
Yes, and with your kind of low energy, I have a feeling you're not too...
fucking dropping bombs on me tonight.
You said
You've got
you were...
COVID, you're low energy, you've got a tiny dick, Kev, shut up.
Yeah, you were complaining that you were like just felt raggedy. And so I was empathizing.
I didn't say raggedy. What is going on tonight? You said you look like an ugly piece of shit, Kev. You did. You said your dick was microscopic as well. But Jesus. So Kristi's
A
taking
little bit under the weather.
a very pro dunking on
Empathy.
Kev situation tonight. So that's good.
You already got with me with tears in my eyes at this point. We're not even 10 minutes in.
Yeah, I'm a little bit tired and a little bit run down. But Kristi's like, you're
Yeah.
dead. You might get in the coffin, Kev. Get the fuck in the coffin.
Did you sign your will? Did you leave everything to me? Let's sort that out before you climb in.
No, Rory's got rights to sleep on my corpse.
Oh no! Are you going to be like one of those people who wills everything to your cat?
All I'll say is he may have pressured me.
Might have been coerced.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a legal binding contract at that point. That seems like coercion. Is cuteness coercion? I don't know. It's a good question.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of in some ways. You just, you're powerless before the power of their cuteness.
I am. I mean, I literally am, yes. But anyway, there's been significant legal shenanigans happening in America. And
okay. I saw what you flashed to, and I can't wait for it. Bring it.
Yeah. Some people, there's legal happenings, obviously, in America in recent times we've covered. But the big story of the last 24 hours is...
Which, of course, we have to see this. Everyone, you know this is coming.
Yeah.
You got to flip... Did you flip the screen? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
I see it now.
This is amazing. So, on Zoom, things happen.
Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings.
That eyes! The eyes!
We're trying to. Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can.
I'm not a cat. Still got me again.
It's so good. It's so good.
He's a lawyer.
I'm not a cat. Please look me up on Twitter.
Fucking hell. Oh, I'm gonna die.
You okay? Can you breathe, Kev? Keep breathing. There we go.
I laughed for about fucking 10 minutes the first time I watched that. I'm not a
There we
cat.
go.
I can't believe you said I'm not a cat.
This is why you don't let your grandkids play on Zoom in your law office.
Oh, fucking hell. What am I looking for?
Oh, no, just my name.
Oh, Kristi, I'm not a cat. But the picture lies, Kristi. The picture lies.
Is his picture lying? It's a filter.
Well, all I'll say is, I'm not a cat is exactly what you would expect a cat who wanted to lie about being a cat to say.
Okay, I'm just like, one thing, 2021 is bringing it. Holy shit, is 2021 bringing it?
Yeah.
And two, someone on Twitter said, imagine splashing your face all over national news for being the lawyer with the cat filter, and you're still not the worst lawyer in national news that day.
So true. Not the most embarrassing thing to happen to a lawyer that day.
No.
Not by a long shot. That was cute.
Oh, yes. That made me laugh. I couldn't even believe that. The kitten eyes looking down, though. I mean, what was he doing? Was he like tipping his
well, presumably it follows the eyes. So he's on to... Oh, hang on.
He's looking down.
I'll bigger my screen to give you an indicator. He's like...
Do you have any filters? Do you have any filters on Streamlabs?
I don't know. I'll have a look. But if you look down there, so he's looking down and he's like, presumably his keyboard's there and his assistant's trying to like get rid of the fucking thing. And he's looking down desperately like, hurry the fuck up. Like, this is being filmed. This will probably make the local news, but only the local news, so it won't be that embarrassing. It's not like
it might be a meme.
The entire planet is going, that's amazing. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I'm not a cat. Like the judge was thinking, have they hired a cat to do the litigation? Because if so, it's impressive that he's got he's joined the bar. That's impressive cat work. How did he even sign the paperwork? He doesn't have an opposable thumb. It's amazing.
I think we all needed that. It's just like cathartic therapy, just to have something of pure ridiculousness and joy to laugh at that doesn't harm anyone in any way.
Yeah, true. That's a I'm not a cat.
So
I
good.
genuinely, I kind of want to get inside the man's brain and be like, I want to understand that moment of panic where he said, "I'm not a cat."
Yes.
I'm not a cat. Like anyone involved in that would think he was actually a cat.
A cat, yeah.
It's so beautiful. It's so
so
funny
good.
and cute and stupid.
It's just, it's simple. It's in its simplicity.
Yeah.
It's just a guy with a filter in a legal proceeding.
Yeah, not the most unprofessional, dumb shit that happened to a lawyer that day at all.
Not at all. No, and way more enjoyable to sit through than what we're going to look at.
We're going to have a look at this. This is nonsense. But I suppose we should briefly touch on the thing of what they've been going on about today, which has been a lot deeper. It's been a lot more kind of like intense, which is understandable because obviously you start off with your opening statements type thing first day. And then you get into the weeds of like the actual events. And it's been some pretty heavy shit today.
Yeah, I think we kind of are, maybe because of the fact that you're sort of rotting away in front of us. But oh, you didn't even notice that? You must be reading your Streamlabs comments or something because you didn't even pay attention to that one.
No, sorry, go on.
Anyway.
No, go on.
Yes.
Repeat yourself, woman.
Oh, no. If you missed it the first time, I'm not repeating myself. You've got to pay attention to catch my clips.
Look, someone's pointed out that exchange will be public record in the court transcript. That's funny. I'm not a cat
Forever
will be
and ever.
forever known in the Texas law books, okay? So just repeat yourself, goddammit.
As I said, you're sort of rotting away in front of us because you're so sick. Your energy might be in a slightly lower place than mine. But
outrageous.
Burp.
I'm not a cat.
But I feel that, at least for me, having members of Congress get up and explain the scope of the crime, the premeditation of the attack, the organization, the coordination, and also, can I be honest, reminding Republicans of how Donald Trump abused them, just like insulted them, berated them, humiliated them, bullied them nonstop on Twitter all the time.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I were the House managers, and this would probably, this is why I'm not a House manager, or even in the House, but I would say, look, he has controlled you, manipulated you, insulted you, bullied you for 5 years now, and you can be free of him. You can be free of this forever, just like you are now free of his tweets. You can be free of the bullying of Donald Trump and his supporters by just doing what's right, by doing what you're not talking about, by voting for the fact that he's guilty, and in your hearts he's guilty. So just vote with your heart. Don't vote with your fear of a mob that's going to end up at your front door, because that is not democracy.
True. See what I've been doing visually during that.
Going over the House managers. They are just absolutely nailing this.
Yeah.
They are doing such a great job.
You've done well when you get your opposing attorney to literally throw out their entire case and ramble.
Yes.
About record players and stuff and how much people love their senators.
And can I just say,
that
those people together inspire me so much, because that is America. That is America. Not what the Republican Party looks like with white hair and white skin and country club memberships. That is America.
Well, one small caveat that doesn't appear to be a native representative, but other than that, yes.
Insofar as it is more diverse, it represents the full breadth of our talents and who we are.
It's not just milky white skin as far as the eye can see.
And grey hair, if any.
And grey hair, yes. Yeah. And a cock, probably.
Yes.
Anyway, so yes, they've done very well.
Mm-hmm.
And good to note their names, because Bruce Castor didn't know their fucking names. Now, before we actually get into that, this was quite nice. Just to give you a taste up front of how dumb this is, right? This next clip is from Newsmax, so it's a very, very pro-Trump organisation. And they're interviewing Alan Dershowitz, who was one of the attorneys in the first impeachment trial, so very, very pro-Trump. So it's Trump arse lickery to the max. So you would expect them to try and back up their guy, right? Like you'd expect them to be like,
yeah. You'd expect that they're going to say this was the most amazing presentation ever, and Trump is obviously this is all constitutional. It was laid out here very clearly by his attorneys.
Yeah, exactly, because this is Trump propaganda, and even they were a bit nonplussed.
I want to take a moment here to break down some of what's being discussed, because we do have Alan Dershowitz standing by, Professor Emeritus Alan Dershowitz at Harvard Law. What are you making of Bruce Castor's argument so far? Where is he heading with this?
There is no argument. I have no idea what he's doing. I have no idea why he's saying what he's saying. You know, he's introducing himself. I'm a nice guy. I like my senators. I know my senators. Senators are great people. Come on. The American people are entitled to an argument, a constitutional argument. I suspect will be forthcoming from David Schoen. But this, just after all kinds of very strong presentations on the part of the House managers with the videotapes and the emotional speech by Congressman Raskin, my former student, you know, you get up there and you respond. We know that hard cases make bad law. I probably would have started with that. This is a hard case. This is an emotional case. He did say, and I think very appropriately, that everybody wants to take revenge when they see a horrible event that took place at the Capitol, but then he went off. I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll bring it home, but right now, it does not appear to me to be effective advocacy. He may know the senators better than I do. Maybe they want to be buttered up. Maybe they want to be told what great people they are and how he knows two senators. But, boy, it's not the kind of argument I would have made, I have to tell you that.
Coming in spicy, which is ironic considering he was let's say associates with Jeffrey Epstein. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. Anyway, even he knows it's a load of old shit. So should we take a look at this? Why are you typing in the chat, Kristi? God damn it!
Yeah, they're actually debating. I think they're having a debate about whether calling people white is a slur.
I consider it as a pejorative, yes, but that's just because white people are scum. That's a joke. That's a joke. I'm doing a joke.
See, that's like, yes, precise. Criticize, like the systemic racism that
how can that be privilege. A slur? Look, I mean, honky or cracker or something. I mean, they're very mild slurs, but they're kind of slurs, whatever.
Yeah,
right?
Precisely. Yeah.
But just literally noting that someone has white skin, or white passing at the very least. So what? That's just what your eyes are telling you. That's not a thing, is it?
There you go. And that's straight from the horse's mouth, straight from Cracker Kev.
Yeah, I am. That. By the way, a beautiful piece of nonsense, right? You know, we mentioned the word cracker on the last show, and so we started playing the amazing 2003 hit "Uncle Cracker." "Follow Me" by Uncle Cracker. Yeah. Beautiful song by a great musical artist. I'm sure we're all very, very in agreement on that. Anyway, that got my video partially blocked around the world in 4 particular countries. Now, I don't know what the beef is between these 4 countries and Uncle Cracker, but the nations of Syria, North Korea, Cuba, and Iran. An amazing series of countries, I think we can all agree.
Isn't that the axis of evil?
Basically. So I don't. Is Uncle Cracker Team America?
Apparently, fuck yeah.
So the people of those countries can't see that video because we played a 20-second clip of "Follow Me" by Uncle Cracker.
In Syria, where like nothing else in that show is offensive in Syria.
Well, I looked it up because I thought, what? Hang on, what copyrighted material? I was like, fucking hell, what? And then it was like, the exact timestamp it gives you, and it's like, oh, okay, we did play Uncle Cracker, but then so where's it banned? And those 4 countries. I was like, what the fuck is this? Anyway. Well, I don't know if North Korea does have YouTube. I mean, it has the internet, so presumably you might be able to hack
Kim
into
Jong-il checks in, and they LARP under different names in the chat.
Well, he's a fan of Dennis Rodman, so presumably he's into 90s slightly shit pop music rather than 2000s. You know?
Right. Yes.
That's presumably it. Anyway, actually, I do know the story. He likes Dennis Rodman because he actually was educated in Switzerland, Kim Jong-un, and got into American basketball because it was on TV.
Right, I remember. It's called. Yeah, I do
During the
remember that now
90s.
that you reminded me. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's a weird series of countries. I don't know. Am I now on a watch list in those places? I don't know. Maybe
Well,
I
were
am.
you ever going to go to Syria?
No, I mean I might go to Cuba. Cuba seems like a nice place. But
Yeah, I don't know if I can go to Cuba. It's kind of weird. Like people go, "Oh, we'll go on vacation in Cuba." And in Europe, I'm like, I can't go there.
Americans have been to Cuba.
I think it's very difficult to get the paperwork done, though.
Probably.
It's not like just going anywhere else.
Well,
where you just go
Cubans
through
make it to
customs.
America, so get in a dinghy and go the opposite direction from Florida. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Nice and
All
safe.
right, so
no one ever
what-
dreams doing that journey.
Hmm.
Anyway,
All right, so let's go from like refugees to something else. I don't know how to segue from that.
well, from oh no, I won't do that joke. No, Kev. That's definitely a not a for human consumption joke.
Oh, thank you, Sophia, for saving us from Kevin's off-air joke on air.
Well, no, I'd already pulled myself back from the brink
Yes, but now
even so.
you can go check the comment, and that gives us a chance to.
to completely segue and forget that Kev was about to do a joke about people dying. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good thing that you
that
stopped
doesn't need
yourself.
that doesn't need to happen, Kev. That's not a human consumption joke. That's definitely a woo. Anyway, Sophia with $1, thank you very much, says, I responded to you earlier on Facebook, by the way, Sophia, to your message. Remember, it's impeach Trump, not peach Trump. I think it's both. Trump is a peach, so, and not in like a good way, but in like he looks a bit like a peach.
Excuse me. Well, Trump does look like a peach. He looks like an orange. He looks like, I don't know, like a bad spray tan job.
An orange. Indeed. Anyway, Bruce Castor. This is the thing, right? When you hire the best of the best, which Trump never has, but if you do, and then they resign, and then you hire the second best and they resign, and the third and the fourth and the fifth, until you get right down to the scrapings of the bottoms of the barrel, and they resign.
You call the temp agency.
Yeah, which is essentially the situation Trump was in, because no one wants to work with him. He's impossible. They literally, and I fucking warned you, when Trump's spokesman came out and said it was fake news, the reports that Trump wanted to basically not argue the constitutionality of it or that he was innocent, but just wanted to go on and repeat lies about about Dominion and Smartmatic and how he definitely won the election. I told you that they were lying. That's precisely what Trump did want to do.
Yep.
To the point where reports that he was literally heard screaming at Mar-a-Lago when
When this was airing.
Mr. Castor basically said that Trump lost the election. So
I mean, that is so sweet. Let me just savor that moment
It's a
of
beautiful
Trump
thing,
paying these guys to go on the floor of the Senate and say the opposite of what he wants them to say. I love it. It's so tasty.
anyway, but yeah, when you've gone through 12 different fucking legal teams or whatever it is, and you eventually end up with the not even the bottom of the barrel, the residue that seeped through the bottom of the barrel and is now in the piss-soaked earth.
Festering.
You end up with Bruce Castor, who, like I say, was more embarrassed at his legal antics than the guy who was not a cat.
I'm not a cat.
I'm not a cat. It would have been less embarrassing if Bruce Castor had just gone up there and said, "I am a cat," and sat back down.
It would have been more effective.
Yeah, it would have been
People
less
would have
rambling.
criticized him less. Oh my gosh. I watched this on 1.5 speed, and then I got about 10 minutes in, and I upped it to 2 times speed.
Oh, do you want to go 1.5? He is quite slow, so just bear that in mind. We're going to play 1.5 speed. Imagine this slowed down by 50% or 33%, whatever now.
Yeah.
Because it's really rambly and boring. And you think, you're literally, at one point, he starts talking about record players.
Do people know what those are anymore? I'm like, where are we?
And
Hello,
not just that, but
you're arguing
look
before
in
the Senate.
Look around the room. You're in a room full of people with the average age of about 60. Like, yes, they know what fucking record players are. That joke would work with a slightly mixed audience, because the younger people would be like, well, I have heard of it, but I get the joke, or whatever. And the old people would be like, oh, young people don't know what it is. But you're talking to people who haven't seen a coloured hair on their head for about fucking 20 years.
Like half their lives.
Yeah.
I mean, Dianne Feinstein is going to be getting on 90. She was probably around when the records
Dianne
were
Feinstein's
just coming out.
Dianne Feinstein's still listening to her music on fucking wax cylinder, you prick. Okay, like you're fine anyway. But you think also, why are you talking about this? This is about constitutional law. Fuck me. Anyway, so
Oh, I think it's worth. Should we say before we go to this that the House managers, who's the guy? Is Raskin is leading it?
Jamie Raskin from the great state of Maryland
did a bit of an opening statement, and also, can you scroll down?
You caught
There's
me.
The guy from Colorado, whose last name I struggle with. Joe Neguse. Yeah, I don't know. And he got up. That guy was amazing. He's got I sit up and pay attention. And the way he communicates is brilliant.
He's a former litigator in a private practice, also not a cat. Although it doesn't say that specifically here. The son of immigrants from Eritrea. Oh, cool. Neguse is the first Eritrean American member of Congress and the first African American to represent Colorado in the House. He co-chairs the Democratic Policy and Communications Committee.
He is doing his state proud and his the people of Colorado proud. Yeah. So they got up there and they gave this cogent, on point, and also emotionally intense personal experience.
We're being told Neguse.
Neguse, thank you. They had good video, kind of capturing that day, and even watching the video. Sorry, if I could just finish. Like, if you noticed how overcast it was that day, and just that smoky gray hue that colors, it's almost like a filter, and nature's filter over that whole. It was a darkened day for the country, and that really visually comes across, and bringing everybody back to that day and what happened in their own chambers. They ransacked your desks, and it was so powerful and so focused, and really kind of set things up for the next day. And okay, well, let's see what Trump's people are going to say, right?
No, fake Hughes, Kristi, fake Hughes.
Fake Hughes? Fake filter. Yep, fake news.
You said Hughes.
Fake.
Anyway, so yes, they did. And I mentioned this off air, but if this were an actual fair trial and not a completely pointless sham because the Republicans, literally Trump could come out and say, sign an affidavit saying, I literally painted the Q shaman that day and put the horns on him and sent him out.
Mm-hmm.
They would still be like, we're going to vote.
He did nothing wrong.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So it's a joke. But if it weren't that, if it were a fair trial, that 13-minute video alone would be like, yeah, okay, we're done here.
Yes.
Yeah, guilty.
Yeah. Another thing that the House managers aren't saying, but again, I would want to is, Republicans of the Senate, it was your decision not to try Trump while he was president. And so you pushed the trial off till he was out of office, and now you're claiming you can't try him because he's out of office.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And not just that,
your
but
accessories after the fact.
Yeah,
in my
it
opinion.
would mean that it would be basically impossible to do anything to a president who's about to leave office. You could literally go and murder someone, and it would be fine because you're about to leave office. There's nothing you can do.
It happened when he was president. No, it's gone. Yeah,
absolute nonsense. Yes,
makes no sense.
So so that like I say, that 13-minute video was pretty badass, and like you can tell how well it is, good it is. Sorry, because at one point, your man here basically admits defeat. He's just like, they did such a good job that we've had to come up with a new opening statement.
Change our strategy.
Ridiculous.
And also, oh my gosh, all the F-bombs that went out on national television. They did not bleep stuff out in those videos. They just let it play. And I'm like, how are the stations? I'm watching this on the NBC stream. The F-bomb just keeps getting dropped all over national television. Yeah. And also, the word fuck showed up today, too, in a BuzzFeed quote. I'm like, they didn't blur that. She repeated it. I think it was Raskin, actually. He said, what the F is going on here, whoever it was. But the word fuck was up on the screen.
Well, the thing is, it should be. Look, generally speaking, I agree. You should try and censor things when it's appropriate. But I think
for the public television and stuff, kids are watching this.
Well, exactly. But I think it's good for everyone involved to understand the gravity of the situation.
Yeah, I don't want to take away from that. Like I just said, they knew this was going to go out on national television, and the stations are held responsible for when profanity like that is aired.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not the biggest. Honestly, it's not the biggest crime. So.
Yeah, I got you prick. Sorry.
Oh, is it time for kitty cam?
It is. If you're going to walk past me, Rory Cats, when we're broadcasting, you know what happens. Look at my little baby cats, baby cats, baby cats.
Is he watching himself on screen?
No, he's thinking, put me the fuck down, you prick.
I think we're going to take a swipe at that microphone.
Yep. He wants to go out now.
Oh, of course. This is what he... Yeah. Fascinating television. We managed to get a half hour into this video on the impeachment defense.
I was sat on my fucking phone the whole time. Jesus.
Imagine what would happen if they would have gone on to vibrate.
Yeah. What the fuck? What's going on with the chat?
That's weird.
That's very strange. Why is it doing that? That doesn't seem at all appropriate. We'll try. Hang on. Oop.
When are you going to add the Twitch stream to a second window?
Oops, something went wrong. Why did something go wrong? What?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing this. What?
Well, do you want to kick on the video?
I don't know. Not really.
No. Okay,
No.
we're just going to sit and do your tech issues. Okay.
Yeah, we are. Well, that's what's going to happen there, Krista.
This is what people show up for, is to watch us.
No, it's definitely
weird.
It's being very odd.
Oh, you know what? No, you can't. I was going to say, can you go to the chat in the stream? And you can't. You have to go to the chat in your stream. Yeah, very strange. It just defaulted to the Google thing all of a sudden.
Okay, well, hang on. Well, I'll take it off. No, hang on. And then I'll have to sign in or something. I don't know.
Or can you just take your pop-in window on your screen right now and just somehow not pop it out, but just...
Oh, there we go. It's doing it
there.
now.
Now it's working. All right.
This is very shit. I don't know what it's doing.
Yeah, just some technical stuff. I mean, obviously, we don't really pay attention to your comments, but we think you'd like to see them on the screen.
Well, no, I check them out as we go along.
That's true.
I don't respond very often because, I mean, I'll be honest with you people. You're an inconvenience to me.
Come on, chat window.
What's it being a prick for?
That is
Used
weird.
Shut down source when not visible. No, it's definitely being a prick. Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, the chat was cancelled. You guys
you've been silenced. You've been silenced, people.
You're gonna get your cock out for the chat.
Well, that's not concern. They haven't. I don't know. Were we saying
That's
that
true.
that YouTube have silenced them?
YouTube, yes.
Okay, fuck it. I'll get my cock out then. Bollocks to it.
While you work this out.
Logan's amazing conservatives of cancel culture. Cocks and penis.
Cancelled.
So otherwise, what you could do is open up your...
It's working on the screen, so why isn't it working on the main fucking thing? Dickhead! Absolute dickhead.
Oh, it was there for a second. Whatever you... It was showing on the screen what you did before.
Yeah, hang on. So I'll remove it from there. Yeah, fuck off. Right. We'll go to the screen where it was working. There we go. Okay, so...
All right, then just...
Copy and paste. See if that does anything.
riveting YouTubing. How are people? 170 are watching this right now.
No,
I am
for
so
some
sorry.
reason it just won't work on the main window bit. Oh, for fuck's sake! End me! Anyway.
Otherwise, maybe what you can do is, I was going to say, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to make.
No, it won't work on
YouTube
the screen
channel.
either. Oh, fuck it.
It won't work anywhere.
Basically, the chat isn't going on the fucking screen. I'm sorry. Fuck you, Bruce Castor, you prick. Talk to me.
Of the team representing former President Trump say anything but in the strongest possible way denounce the violence of the rioters and those that breached the Capitol, the very citadel of our democracy. Literally the symbol that flashes on television whenever you're trying to explain
checking chat.
that we're talking.
Go on.
He didn't oppose it for 3 hours while it was happening.
Yeah.
He sat and did nothing for 3 hours, as was pointed out today. So he couldn't have been that appalled by it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah. Well, and during the thing, he literally said, we love you. You're very special," as it was happening.
Yes.
So
you're very special for rioting and killing a cop.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah.
About the United States instant symbol to have it attacked is repugnant in every sense of the word. The loss of life is horrific. I spent many long years prosecuting homicide cases, catching criminals that committed murders. I have quite an extensive experience in dealing with the aftermath of those things. Certainly, as a FOP member and a member of many police organizations myself, we mourn the loss of the Capitol Police officer who I understand is laying...
Sorry, no, not to what he's saying. Just realised that's a very inappropriate response. I'll get the chat back on the screen.
Yeah, congratulations. When Kevin, he's like a dog with a bone. He gets annoyed by something, he'll do it until it's done.
Yeah, it has to happen, otherwise, you know. But I just realised, yeah, my response was very, very inappropriate considering the thing that was being said. That's not what I was responding to.
No, you were on a completely different
police
subject.
murder. No, that's not, not what I'm saying. Fuck me. I wonder why I don't get monetized.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Right, we've also got another message from Kristi, from Sophia. Sorry, I keep calling her Christine. That's the middle name. Anyway, by the way, if you also want to send a super chat through, you can do so. Streamlabs.com/KFLogan1875. The link is below. Sophia says, I've now responded to you responding to me on Facebook, and I guess you'll now respond to me responding to you who responded to me. Probably. I'll almost certainly forget initially, but I will eventually get round to responding to you. Yes.
From here. And you know, many of you in this room over your careers before they reached this summit here in the Senate would have had times where you represented your local communities as assistant district attorneys, assistant commonwealth attorneys, assistant state attorneys. And you know this to be true, that when a horrific event occurred in your county or in your jurisdiction, if it was a state jurisdiction, you know that there was a terrible outcry and the public immediately reacts with a desire that someone pay because something really bad happened. And that is a natural reaction of human beings. It's a natural reaction of human beings because we are generally a social people. We enjoy being around one another. Even in
garbage.
Yeah, this is...
I'm sorry.
This is pablum.
He's not talking about the charges or the Constitution or anything.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Yeah, it's literally not doing the thing it's supposed to do. He's talking about random shit like, you know, when stuff happens and the thing happens and then the people are sad. Okay?
Yeah. Yes, okay, get on with it.
You know when you leave milk out in the sun, it goes sour. Terrible stuff. Like, who cares?
DC, we recognize that people all the world over, and especially Americans who share that special bond with one another, love the freedoms that this country gives us. And we all feel that if somebody is unsafe when they're walking down the street, that the next person that's unsafe could be you, your spouse, one of your children, some other person that you love and know personally. So you'll never hear anybody representing former President Trump say anything at all other than what happened on January 6th and the storming and breaching of the Capitol should be denounced in the most vigorous terms.
You're very special. We love you.
Yeah. Not just that, but didn't his daughter come out and be like, that woman doesn't matter, the one that got shot, she's Antifa, fuck her.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound like enormously vigorous denunciation to me. Certainly not of the crimes themselves, but of the, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Nor that those persons responsible should be prosecuted to the fullest extent that our laws allow. And indeed, I have followed some of those cases and those prosecutions, and it seems to me that we're doing a pretty good job of identifying and prosecuting those persons who committed those offenses. And I commend the FBI and the District of Columbia Police and the other agencies for their work. It's natural to recoil. It's an immediate thing. It comes over you without your ability to stop it. The desire for retribution.
It comes over you, Gigaday.
Who caused this awful thing? How do we make them pay? We recognize in the law, and I know many of you are lawyers, probably lawyers, some of you, I've been a lawyer 35 years, longer than me. Many longer.
Certainly better than you.
Also,
but then again, there's a cat that's better than you, so I mean...
Like, can he not go to a tailor? That suit just looks like it's a little
Yeah, it's a bit
baggy.
off the peg, that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which
I mean,
again,
it's not Carl at the in Brussels or wherever he was.
Strasbourg, technically. There are two.
Yes.
Because people don't seem to realise the EU has two capitals. That's efficient. Anyway, the point being, yes. Yeah, it's Look, usually you can buy off the peg, that's fine. But if you're being paid presumably a fuck ton to stand in front of the Senate on live international TV, just go and get fitted.
Oh, can we please? What was her name again? The woman from Virgin Islands, which is Shirley.
Which I didn't even realise was a thing that had a congressperson.
Stacey Plaskett. Please, search
from the
for
great
her.
at-large district of Virgin Islands.
If you want to know like how to command presence with your wardrobe, can you just please on Twitter search for her name and go to images just media, I think, not video but media, because
what's her name? I forgot Stacey.
Yeah,
Plaskett.
you can. Yes, I saw her get up today and I was like, oh my God, she looks like a queen. Like she's just giving off that sort of royal energy.
That one.
Yes. Literally wore a cape.
Yeah.
Like, look at this.
Not all heroes wear capes, but some do.
Oh. And she's standing up there and she's just looking regal and amazing and owning it and being powerful and just everything. It's my everything.
Nice hair as
this
well.
woman.
That's
I know. Look
hair.
at her. Yeah. Look at it. She is just everything is on point. Oh, look at the cuts.
Yeah, the sister of the vice president there is defending our democracy while looking so fly in a literal cape dress.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, look at the cuts on the arms. There,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Yes. Oh, it is just like, yes, power suit.
Yeah.
Whew.
Indeed.
Than me, probably. And we know we have a specific body of law.
Yes, obviously, fuck monarchy. When she says she looks like a queen, she doesn't mean it literally like a queen, like slay queen.
Yes.
Come on now, people.
Yes. Like the sort of like when they do the putting the crown on their heads, that sort of like regal presence and power and self-confidence.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Owning
also,
it.
have you ever seen the Queen look that good? Behave yourself. She comes out. What's the famous fucking checkered dress thing she wore? Hang on.
What?
Queen horrible dress.
Oh my God! What is this monstrosity I saw? What?
There.
What?
She wouldn't stepped out like that. Hang on.
She looks like a Disney princess for Halloween.
Yeah. Look at this noise.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's great if you're 7.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
but
that is, yeah. So she doesn't look, when we say that Stacey Plaskett looks like a queen, we don't mean she looks like this fucking thing. Hey,
it just looks like she, like there was a traveling, like, clown show going through the palace.
Yeah.
And they're like, shit, she needs to get somewhere. We'll just dig stuff out of our trunks.
No, she looks like some sort of weird medieval harlequin type character. It's awful. I know. So that's a thing that happened.
Yeah.
She's known for her style, let's say. Actually, most of the time it's just neutral pastels, but occasionally she steps out and looks like a fucking like she looks like a homophobe's interpretation of what a drag queen would look like.
Yeah, it just it looks like someone would wear at Carnival.
Yeah.
In Cologne, you know.
Yeah.
That deals with.
And she is German, so that's fine. Yeah.
Oh, and it's really depressing because tomorrow is Weiberfest.
Did you miss
the
I said she was German. Come on now.
Yeah, well, that's what I was just going. I'm segueing into. Yeah, it's a kickoff, like one of the early nights of Carnival, or the day starts on tomorrow. When
she looks like a bad Dame Edna Everage cosplay. That's so true. By the way, to any Americans who doesn't know who Dame Edna Everage is, you should look her up. She's a very interesting guy. Oh, well, yeah, she is a guy. It's Barry Humphries, who's like a comedy character. Anyway. Yeah.
Passion and rage, blinding logic and reason.
Australian.
That's the difference between manslaughter and murder. Manslaughter is the killing of a human being upon sudden and intense provocation.
We don't know this. Honestly, you don't need the definition of manslaughter
also,
in this case.
That's one of the interpretations of manslaughter, but it can just be a kind of accidental thing.
Yes.
Rather than intense provocation. It could be that let's say with industrial manslaughter, you need not have ever met the person.
Well, right. I think the idea of manslaughter is a different degree from homicide in terms of intention. So, if you kill someone with a car, it might not have been your intention, but it was the result of your decisions.
Indeed. And thank you to Mary Kashuten, who must be
Hey,
Dutch. Must
welcome.
be Dutch. 1011, which might be rude in binary, I don't know. But anyway, thank you for following. You can also follow on Twitch. And you can subscribe to me, which will cost you money, unless you've got an Amazon Prime.
Viber for snack.
You can do it for free.
Thank you.
Do you mind not fucking talking over my shilling, please, Kristi? Can a man not shill in peace anymore? Anyway, yeah, you can subscribe via the Amazon Prime for free and redistribute Jeff Bezos' trillions. I presume he's got trillions now.
You can tell that someone in the chat is German because they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna be helpful. Let me correct your German 5 times in all caps."
Weiberfustnacht, which is when you
Although fest isn't, it's not so much
night.
fust. It's fest is fest. I mean, at least in Cologne, the way we say it.
Also, just on the screen, butt murder. If you add a second T to the word butt, it becomes very funny.
Of course, that's where Kevin's mind goes.
Well, what else are you going to do with butt murder?
Right. Okay, so now we're going to get back to the serious conversation of manslaughter.
No, we're not.
Thank
No,
you.
we're not. We're talking about butt murder.
It's done with cold blood and reflective thought. We are so understanding of the concept that people's minds can be overpowered with emotion where logic does not immediately kick in, that we have recognized examples that otherwise would be hearsay and said that no, when you're driving down the street and you look over at your wife and you say, hey, you know what, that guy's about to drive through the red light and kill that person, your wife can testify to what you said, because even though it's technically hearsay, it's an exception because it's the event living through the person. Why? No opportunity for reflective thought. And there's all sorts of examples that we recognize in the law for why people immediately desire retribution, immediately recognize in the law that people can be overcome by events.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly. Yeah.
And you know, senators of the United States.
Think how long that gap
They're
was.
not.
Think how long that gap was. This is at 1.5 speed, and I was like, hurry the fuck up.
He's trying to figure out what he's going to say next. I'm like, dude, at least have bullet points.
Yeah.
Like, have an argument you want to make, but no.
Yeah. Also, the closed captions has it as senders of the United States rather than senators. So. He garbles a bit.
Ordinary people. They're extraordinary people, in the technical sense, extraordinary people.
What?
When I was growing up in suburban Philadelphia, my parents were big fans of Senator Everett Dirksen from Illinois. And Senator Dirksen recorded a series of lectures that my parents had on a record. And we still know what records are, right? On the thing you put the needle down on and you play it. And
what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
Rambling. This is garbage. It's a hot mess.
This is a specific instance where you've got an actual legal allegation and you've got constitutional law and all the rest of it. And he's going, you remember the record player and you put the needle down and the noise came out and you hear the speaky man. Like, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
No, Trump is paying for every minute of this.
Yeah. I mean, I don't usually agree with Trump's policy of stiffing everyone who's ever employed, but on this occasion, yeah.
Maybe,
yeah.
Well, he'll just throw his donors' money at it.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, he wasn't paying 20 grand. Well, he didn't pay any money, but he wasn't planning on paying 20 grand to Rudy Giuliani of his own money.
Yes.
Here's little Bruce, 8, 9, 10 years old, listening to this back in the late 60s. And I would be listening to that voice. If you ever heard Everett Dirksen's voice, it's the most commanding, gravelly voice that just...
Dianne Feinstein remembers the 60s very well. It was her late middle age. I'm saying she's like 200.
Yeah, you're old. Yeah, you're saying she's old.
Just oozes belief and sincerity. Must have been a phenomenal United States senator. He doesn't talk about ordinary people as we do in the law. We apply the ordinary person standard. He talks about extraordinary people. He talks about gallant men, was the name of the album. And now, of course,
who
the sign of the
fucking
times,
cares?
gallant men and women.
Who cares?
What does this have to do with anything?
Who cares what this random old senator, who's presumably very, very dead at this point, gives a fuck that he had an album called Gallant Men? What are you dribbling on about? This is nonsense. Even by the standard of having to cobble together something at the last second, this is rubbish. As Dershowitz pointed out, there are very straightforward ways you could lie, because it's all lies. There's no actual defence for Trump at all. But there's ways you could couple together a realistic sounding defence of some variety.
But no, he's like literally stream of consciousness here.
Good question from Trans Gamer Girl. Is this guy trying to filibuster the impeachment trial? It sounds like it. If he pulls out green eggs and ham and starts reading it to his kid like Ted Cruz, then we'll know.
And I would watch television, and I would watch Senator Goldwater or Senator Byrd.
He's innocent, said Sam I am. No, what are you doing?
Or Senator Mansfield, Senator Dole, and I would be fascinated by these great men. And everybody's parents say this when they're growing up. You could grow up to be a United States Senator. You could do that. They're just men and women like you are. Well, then Everett Dirksen tells us that...
Yeah. Although I did one of my favourite bits of The Simpsons back when it was funny was it's a flashback from Homer Simpson speaking to his dad when Homer Simpson's a kid, and he says, one day I want to grow up and be president. And his dad says, boy, this is the United States, the greatest country in the world. There are systems put in place to stop people like you from becoming president. Which is true, because, he's very stupid. Although he didn't stop Trump, because Trump had the money, which, supersedes all, apparently. But there we go. Anyway.
They're not. They're gallant men and women that do extraordinary things when their country needs them to do it. United States senators really are different. And
they're not that different.
I have been around United States senators before. 2 of them in this room from Pennsylvania, I like to think, are friendly toward me, or at least friends of mine when we're not politically
Nobody cares
adverse.
about you.
Yeah.
And I have been around their predecessors. And one thing I have discovered, whether it be Democrats or Republicans, United States senators are patriots first. Patriots first. They love
So he's just trying to suck their dicks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys are so cool, and I love you so much. And please don't convict my boss.
Yeah, which again
client.
would be probably a good strategy if this was a fair trial. But it isn't, so you don't need to do this. But then again, I presume he's just trying to fill time here. Just he's got nothing, so he's having to stretch out 2 minutes of material over half an hour,
Yeah, he thought that the way to react to a well-written, edited, reread multiple times professional document that probably went through the hands of 5 or 6 different people was to just get up there and talk off the top of his head. That was his big plan.
He went with I think it should be known as the new legal strategy, the yes and strategy. Just do some improv. It's fine.
While I was, yes, exactly. This is improv. While I was watching this on 2x speed, I was reminded, I tweeted this out, so one of the advice I got for my SAT exams when I did my master's, and then the advice that I gave to my students when it was time to do their SAT exams was, how do you get the best points on an exam? Number 1, answer the question. Answer it directly. Whatever the question is, just answer it. Yes or no, pick a side, answer it. 2, if you can't answer the question, redefine the question into one that you can answer, and then answer that directly. And if you can't do either of those things, ramble as coherently as you can for a little while and just hope for points.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Right? That's what he is 3.
Yeah.
This is what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's a strategy.
Also, you went to 2 times speed. I'm going to go the opposite direction, 0.25.
No.
Country.
Oh, for God's sake, it's excruciating. No.
Yeah, just the background cosmic radiation noise.
Yeah.
They really need to put an immediate noise filter on these live things because you just hear the hiss so much.
Well, to be fair, the backing foam he's got is a slab of marble. That's not great acoustically, I don't think.
True, but there is that just that you get, which is just cosmic background noise, which a lot of people take out of their podcasts and stuff when they clean up the audio.
They love their families. They love the states that they represent.
We're back to 1.5.
There isn't a member in this room who has not used the term, I represent the great state of fill in the blank.
You're going to torture him again?
No, it's back to 1.24.
Okay.
1.5, sorry. Yeah, that's a reference that when they say the great state of, that's what I do. It's a joke. Because I don't care, really. It's such obvious dick suckery. I literally did the joke earlier that Stacey Plaskett represents the great at-large district of Virgin Islands or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not a state, territory.
It's an at-large district. God damn it.
Well, right, but Colorado's has got a 2nd district, for instance, and a 15th district, but they're from the state, the great state of Colorado.
Well, presumably the Virgin Islands doesn't have 2 representatives. That would be a piss take.
The great territory.
It's got no fucking people.
Islands.
What's the population? Sorry. No.
Yeah, let's find out. Like, what is their official thing? The territory, I think, of the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Oh no, I don't care about that. I just want to know the population. Oh, 106,000. That's not bad. That's a reasonable little city.
Mm-hmm.
That's bigger than I thought it was going to be. Okay.
What's the smallest state? Is it Alaska, population-wise? Yep, by population.
Wyoming, 580,000.
Okay. So still much smaller, smaller or lower population than
it's
Wyoming.
states like Wyoming that, we do the joke, the great state of, because, I mean, it isn't a great state, fuck's sake. Great, as in large mess. It's a great state. Anyway.
Because they're all great, yeah. But you think yours is greater than others because these are your people. These are the people that sent you here to do their work. They trusted you.
Why is he walking away from the microphone?
Representative government.
Don't. It's not that kind of jury.
I feel proud to know my senators. Senator Casey up here in the back.
Oh, God.
Senator Toomey over to the left. It's funny. This is an aside, but it's funny. You ever notice how when you're talking or you hear others talking about you when you're home in your state, they will say, I talked to my senator, or I talked to somebody on the staff of my senator. It's always my senator. Why is it that we say my senator?
Because it's the person who represents the place you live in.
Okay. I'm just going to point out we are 10 minutes into this.
Yeah.
And has he addressed the issue of whether or not it's constitutional to try a president after leaving office, despite all the precedents of other people who have had such convictions or at least trials after impeachment?
The short answer is no.
I know.
The long answer is no.
the 0.25 times speed.
Exactly, yeah.
Answer.
We say that because the people you represent are proud of their senators.
No, I am not proud of Ron Johnson.
I was literally, when I watched this live, I was thinking to myself, I should ask Kristi that question.
Absolutely not.
Is she proud of the senators put there by the people of the great state of Wisconsin?
By the people? No. They have good taste in Tammy Baldwin, but for some reason they keep fucking it up with Ron Johnson, Russian tool and traitor.
Yeah. Absolutely feel that connection of pride, because that's not just Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania. That's my senator from Pennsylvania. Or Bob Casey from Scranton. That's my senator. And you like that. People like that. The people back home really do.
What the hell is this mess?
United States senators have a reputation, and it's deserved. They have a reputation for cool-headedness, being erudite. The men and women that we send from back...
Have you met any senators? What are you talking? Erudite, some of them. Fucking isn't what's his name? The Alabama chap, the new one.
Oh God, Tommy Tuberville.
Tuberville.
The guy who doesn't know how many branches of government there are. Or what they are.
He's I'll be honest, he sounds a bit brain damaged.
I just wish he would say, "Do you want me to tickle your balls too?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm up here taking the shaft. Do you want the tickle, or is that acceptable?
Yeah, I'll work the shaft.
Is that like
I'll
a personal
be honest.
Thing?
If you're really wavering, I'll even have a slip of a finger up the wrong way. If you're really into that sort of thing, that's fine.
Like if it'll get Trump off.
I'm sure it would. He's more into urine, isn't he? Apparently. So.
Back home to D.C. to look after our interests. We feel a sense of ownership and a sense of pride in our senators. There's plenty of times I've been around in political gatherings where I hear, there's no way Senator Toomey's going to allow that. I don't mean to pick on you, Pat, but there's no way Senator Casey is going to allow that. Because we feel pride and something bad is potentially in the wind. And we expect our United States senators not reacting to popular will and not reacting to popular emotions.
Wait. You mean representing the people's opinions? We don't expect people to actually go and represent the popular opinions of the people that voted for them. Yeah. No. What is that? Democracy? Representation? Are you kidding? Oh, look at that. We got a cat in the window.
Kitty cam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To do what is right, notwithstanding what is immediately and expedient that the media tells us is the topic of the day.
By the way, everyone is now watching Rory Cat's tail flick, which is a much nicer thing to watch, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
So senators are patriots. Senators are family men and women. They're fierce advocates for the great state in which they represent. And somewhere far down that list of attributes, way below patriot, and way below love of family and country, and way below fierce advocates for their states, far down, at least that's what I thought, anyway, and I still think that. Somewhere far down that list.
So why did you say it past tense and then say it present tense? Like, yeah.
You know, I know that his thing was, oh, the House managers did such a good job. People are actually feeling really emotional. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up there. I'm just going to throw myself in front of like on the grenade here. I am going to bore them to death. I'm going to numb them. I'm going to turn their brains off by just babbling at them. Maybe that was a strategy.
Yeah. Yeah, just maybe if they fall asleep, they'll forget to vote.
Yes.
Yes. So, what was it? No, someone said something. Yeah, Rory looking out the window. Yeah, that's the back garden. That's his kingdom. He's surveying it. This is Pride Rock for Rory Katz, this windowsill. For a little Lion King reference there. And thank you to Tash, who donated $10 and said, keep up the good work.
Aww.
So, thank you very much.
I mean, don't encourage him. Then gets
no, actually, keep up the great work.
Wow.
Keep up the great work. So Kristi, throwing shade all the time.
That's part of the great work.
It's what you throwing shade at them.
Yeah.
You basically saying, yeah, Kev, you're definitely going to die. You might as well just die already. Like, you're dead. You're dead, Kev. Shut up. And also, low energy, low testosterone, piece of shit.
Don't forget raggedy.
Raggedy. Fucking raggedy. What a word. I mean, you're not wrong, but...
I didn't call you ratchet.
You fucking basic ratchet ass hoe. Yeah. Yeah, Shady Winters. True.
Yeah.
Senators have some obligation to be partisans, to represent a group of beliefs that are similar to beliefs shared by other United States senators. I understand that. And in fact, I have no problem with that system. It helps us debate and decide what is best for America.
Who gives a fuck what you care? I'm okay with the system. No one gives a fuck, bitch. Get on with the fucking case.
All right, hey, all right, I'm all distracted now. Can we clear this up a little bit? All right, when it said Shady Winters, that reminded me of the fact that I am now playing a bard in my new D&D game, and we started last night. Wow. And I'm playing a bard. Okay. And in order to kind of give the flavor of it, I did a little limerick for the party. Well, actually, I was doing bawdy songs at a strip club. And that's what we were all playing, or near one anyway. And I wanted to do the limerick. Can I please do the dirty limerick?
Please do.
All right. There was once a young couple from Aberystwyth who joined in union the lips that they kissed with. But as they grew older, they also grew bolder and played with the bits that they pissed with.
Ew. That's actually really good.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I did not. I was thinking, how is she going to rhyme Aberystwyth once, and then you did it twice? Good
not
stuff.
Me, but somebody did.
Oh, someone did. Oh, who wrote that?
Yeah. No, I found it on the internet.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I just looked up dirty limericks for the game.
Oh, that's really good.
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to do a joke because you said Shady Winters. I was going to try and work out like the Punxsutawney Phil thing, where if he sees a shadow.
Oh, right.
And there's going to be 6 more weeks of winters, and like.
Yeah. Just call me Groundhog because I'm a Shady Winters.
Yeah, there's definitely a joke there.
Yes.
The statue's in the marble. I've just got to chisel it out, you know. But yeah, it's done. Who cares? Moving on.
Bust debate of different points of view, and I dare say that Senator Schumer and Senator McConnell represent those things in this body and make sure that everything is talked out and robustly debated in this room before United States senators make a decision of extreme importance to the people they represent. I know you aren't allowed to talk, but I don't see either one of them jumping up and saying I'm wrong about that, because I think that that's what happens.
Yeah, they're not allowed to talk. You just said they're not allowed to talk, so I mean, who cares? It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I think United States senators try to listen to each other's views. I think United States senators try to do what is right for the country, and far down is partisanship. in our system of government, and if you read the Federalist Papers, we're very fortunate because the Federalist Papers were authored as an explanation for why it is the states, the original states, should adopt the Constitution. These were persuasive documents about why the Constitution is a good thing. Because if the individual state legislatures didn't adopt the Constitution, we would not have it. So Mr. Jay and Mr. Madison and Mr. Hamilton, they had an incentive to explain what they were thinking when they wrote it, because they are explaining to other erudite people who represent individual states why it is
and
that they feel
beings.
this is the right thing to do.
Can we pause? Also, it's worth mentioning that the House managers totally pre-destroyed the legal brief that was filed by the Trump people by saying their own people cited in their document later go on air or later publicly said they've misrepresented my arguments.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now he's going to try to argue from the intention of the framers, and yet all the framers are clear, and all of the Senate trials have been clear, and they're just on the wrong side of the law here.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I just want to point out other erudite slave owners. Let's not pretend these people were perfect.
No. We're talking about the racist white people history month.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of doing that. If you want to put together a little intro, I'll do a every day during.
Wait! It's my idea, and now I'm going to pull together the intro, and you're just going to do it.
Well, no, you don't broadcast every day. So I mean, when you're on air with me, you can do it. But when I'm off air, when you're not with me, I can still do it. Do you know what I mean? That's what I mean.
Okay, just take my ideas and make money off them. That's fine.
How am I making money off them? All right, I won't do it then. Fuck it. We're not doing Racist White History Month then. And Rory Katz has decided to move because he's a dickhead. Anyway, so.
As many of you well know, Madison had to promise that there would be a Bill of Rights immediately upon adoption, or we wouldn't have a Constitution. Even then, there was a horse trading going on in the legislative body of the United States.
I'm now only half on the screen.
The other day, when I was down here in Washington, I came down earlier in the week to try to figure out how to find my way around. I worked in this building 40 years ago. I got lost then, and I still do. But in studying the Constitution, in all the years I was a prosecutor where so many things depend on interpretations of phrases in the Constitution, I learned that this body, which one of my worthy colleagues said is the greatest deliberative body in the entire world, and I agree, that particular aspect of our government was intentionally created, if you read the Federalist Papers. The last time a body such as the United States Senate sat at the pinnacle of government with the responsibility that it has today, it was happening in Athens.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
This has nothing to do with anything. This has nothing to do with any of the arguments. Oh, and by the way, he's later going to say, he's going to cite Athens now, but he's later going to say that our Constitution has nothing to do with the English law. Dude, high crimes and misdemeanors is a phrase that comes right from common law.
Yeah.
What I mean, I'm not a lawyer, and I know that.
Yeah.
Howard?
Yeah, it's absolute nonsense.
He sounds like Sargon.
He does.
Definitely a Sargon vibe coming off here.
Yeah, absolute nonsense. It's not only wrong from a historical wanky perspective, which is, nonsense, but also it's got nothing to do with anything. This is not what this case is about. Last time I checked, he's not being impeached for wrongful misuse of ancient Greek mythology or something. It's not.
Oh, no.
It's not relevant.
Nothing. No. I just, trans gamer girl in the chat says nowhere, it's going nowhere. It reminds me of the old, isn't it Talking Head song? We're on a road to nowhere.
We're on a road to nowhere.
Yep, well, that's where we are now, people. Enjoy.
Yeah.
And it was happening in Rome. Republicanism, the form of government, republicanism.
Well, hang on, dickhead. If it was happening in Rome as well, then Rome would be the most recent of the ones. And why have you mentioned Athens at all?
Yeah, and do you mean republicanism? Because they weren't doing republicanism in Athens. They had direct democracy. Yeah. So do you not know the different forms of government? One's representative, one's direct.
Mm-hmm. And most of the time, the Rome wasn't a republic.
Mm-hmm.
It was an empire, and before that, it had kings.
Mm-hmm.
It was a republic for a relatively brief period of time, considering it was around for 1,000 years.
Yep.
But yeah, other than that, great point.
Throughout history, has always, and without exception, fallen because of fights from within, because of partisanship from within. because of bickering from within. And in each one of those examples that I mentioned, and there are
I mean, it's not a big point really, but you mentioned it. I hate this nonsense about it always falls from within, because it's not really completely true. It's a myriad of factors.
I mean,
both internal and external.
Boards, and also the fact that they had overextended their ability to run an empire.
Yeah,
and weak leadership meant cracks and it started to disintegrate.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's partly administrative rather than it being like a problem. It was just sort of corruption.
And also, there wasn't a republic when it fell. I mean, they had a senate, but they were ruled by emperors, and then they were killing each other off and replacing each other with basically guys who elevated from the military who lasted 4 months. I mean, this is not a comparison to the Congress and partisan infighting.
Also,
if anything,
Rome did have a king. I don't know who's saying that in the chat. They did. They had 7 kings.
Early days.
Yeah. Rome was founded and then had kings. Also, you could argue that Caesar was basically a king. Doesn't matter. Go on.
It was just Trump is more guilty of this than anyone in that Senate right now. Well, I mean, the Republicans, Hawley, I guess, and Cruz are. But it's not partisan fighting that's an issue here. It's insurrection, and that's only been done by one president.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And it's the nonsense of Trumpists need to be more honest. Well, they need to be honest to any extent. Would be a good start. But they're not supporters of Donald Trump because of his policies. Because he doesn't have policies. He never did.
No.
They love him because of his divisiveness. They love him because they hate the same people that he hates.
And they're a shrinking demographic, and they have to get more and more white people, and the only white people left are the extreme, types, and they're trying to mobilize them. They're reaching deeper and deeper into the white population and agitating people who would normally not turn out to vote because they're apathetic, but now suddenly they're a Q follower.
Yeah. And also, just because they were mentioned in the chat, someone says they were ruled by the Etruscans, who, as we know, were probably the most degenerate sluts in the history of the world.
According to Davis Arena.
According to Davis Arena. Yeah.
And the others probably that are smaller countries that lasted for less time that I don't know about off the top of my head, but each one of them...
Could have researched it, you prick.
Once there was the vacuum created that the greatest deliberative bodies, the Senate...
Lawyers aren't ever supposed to say, I don't know. They're being paid to literally make shit up, basically.
Things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't know it, pretend you know it.
Yeah. And again, Rome didn't fall because there was gridlock in the Roman Senate.
No, especially because when Rome fell, the Senate was not even really a deliberative body. It was a joke. It was a figurehead.
Rubber stamp.
Yeah. It was nonsense. Arguably, when the Senate was at its height, Rome was at its height.
Yeah.
It didn't fall until the Senate and any kind of vestige of democracy, such that it was, had fallen away centuries prior.
Yeah, into tyranny.
Yeah.
Greece, and sitting in Athens, the Senate of Rome, the moment that they devolved into such partisanship, it's not as though they ceased to exist. They ceased to exist as representative democracy.
What?
Well, it was never really representative democracy.
No, it was only free men.
Yeah.
Who could vote
The vast
and
majority of
participate.
citizens in both societies could not vote.
Yes.
And to pretend otherwise is ridiculous. Sorry.
No
because
one
I've
was
changed the angle
enslaved
on
could
my
vote.
phone. There we go.
Okay. Women couldn't vote. Lots of people. It was not representative democracy. Not in the way that we conceive of it today.
No. It's a joke. To claim it was a democracy is loose in the extreme, although albeit it was the most democratic society that had thus far existed at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But Jesus, I am not entirely convinced that Britain is a democracy in the sense that its upper chamber and its head of state aren't elected at all, and even its fucking main chamber that is elected in such a farcically cack-handed way that I'm not entirely sure that it can be given the title of democracy, really, in a very pure sense or whatever. Whereas that, by comparison, we're like uber democracy compared to Rome or fucking Athens.
True. No, I always considered Britain. I mean, I know it says democracy in Westminster and all model and all that kind of thing, but it always seems like elected one-party rule. It's unless there's coalition governments, but the party in power can do pretty much whatever it wants.
Yeah.
And there's no real checks on it. And like you said, the executive and the legislative are kind of blended a bit.
Quite a lot, yeah.
Becoming...
It's a bit ridiculous as a system, but it kind of works because it does lead to stronger government, which is generally positive rather than having the system you have, say, absolute proportional representation in Italy, where you lead to weak,
Yeah,
fractious
exactly.
governments and stuff. So.
That's the problem. Yeah, the more you get sort of people able to vote for their more narrow interests and aren't forced to kind of like pick between two major parties, the less likely you are to have cohesion and stability. Yeah, it's.
So it's good, but I mean, the fact that, like I say, if the upper chamber, I've said before, could be done proportional representation-wise, that would be fine. And we do need an elected head of state, because this is not the 14th century.
Yeah, although I guess the question with PR is, like, could someone outside of Scotland vote for the SNP if they were Scottish and wanted the choice? Like, it doesn't really matter. It's a hypothetical anyway.
Yeah, because you wouldn't. My system would be, and this is getting into the weeds a little bit here, but I'm going to say it anyway. You would keep the same first past the post system for the main chamber. You would then have the second chamber, which is largely a refining body, right? It can't really overrule the main elected chamber, and that's fine because it's not elected, right? But what you would have is, essentially, you would keep the same basic set of people in the House of Lords, but have it apportioned on the proportional representation of the entire vote, the popular vote in the general election. But because they're not directly elected, they would still be the subordinate body to the main chamber, but you would have a refining chamber which would actually represent the will of the people, and would mean that most people, everyone's vote would actually count for something, because you'd be electing members of the House of Lords as well. So I think that would work. You might also introduce a kind of president-type figure, as you would have in some democracies where, like, I think in Germany you have, or had, Chancellor and President, and the Chancellor's like the main dude, but the President is the head of state or whatever. That system might work here too, but whatever. Yeah, so there are changes that could be made, but the point is to go back and be like, ancient Athens and ancient Rome. Like, shut the fuck up, man.
Exactly.
Jesus. I mean, they were also founded on slavery, and by the way, slavery was one of the reasons that Rome fell, because they became over-reliant on what's called a non-productive sector of society, that being not being paid and therefore not influencing the economy.
The economy at all. Yeah.
So they're productive in the sense that they're doing jobs, but not economically productive in the sense that they're being paid. So, when you have a non-economically productive sector of society that becomes too large, economies crumble.
Yep.
So that's part of the reason that the South is still so poor.
Yeah.
It still hasn't recovered.
Yep. And it was primarily agriculturally based, while the North was industrial.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
But
part of the reason they stayed aggressive was because they had owned the labor.
Exactly, yeah. There was no need to industrialise. There was no real advantage to it. So they didn't.
Totalitarianism.
And like I say, 150 years later, it's still...
Yeah, lagging.
You look at the economies, it's not Alabama producing the money. No offence, Alabama, but...
Or the good senators.
Or the good senators. Tommy Tuberville.
Yeah.
You're not sending your best, or if you are, Alabama needs to be nuked. That's a joke.
Just need to up their game.
That's a joke again.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Their football teams are good, right?
Roll Tide.
The famous quote from Benjamin Franklin, who, as a Philadelphian, I feel as though I can do that because he's my founding father too. He who would trade liberty for some temporary security deserves neither liberty nor security. If we restrict liberty to attain security, we will lose both.
Take a drink, everyone.
The way we have enshrined in the Constitution the concepts of liberty that we think are critical. The very concepts of liberty that drove us to separate from Great Britain. And I can't believe these fellas are quoting what happened pre-revolution.
Wait. Sorry. We separated from Britain because we asked for representation, because we were being taxed and we were denied it. And a bunch of middle class people especially were agitated about this, and they were primarily the ones who instigated it. But it was like a tax revolt.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It wasn't about liberty. It was about not wanting to pay taxes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Again, if they'd wanted liberty, they'd have given liberty to everyone, and they didn't. Notably, Winchanter with 20 bits. Thank you very much. Says, "Flip Donald Trump." They didn't say flip, but it's a word like that. And anyone who backs him. So I mean, quite. I'm Kevin Logan, and I approve this message.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Anyway.
As though that's somehow of value to us. We left the British system.
Hang on, did that even go on the screen?
If we're really going to use pre-revolutionary history in Great Britain, then the precedent is we have a parliament and we have a king.
What?
Is that the precedent that we are headed for?
What the fuck are you talking about? At what point has anyone said they wanted a king? Well, Donald Trump supporters did. Actually, they want a king called Donald Trump. But,
Ask Liberty Hangouts.
Yeah, exactly. It's gibberish. What the fuck is he talking about? Also, when referring to the opposition council, he just said, these fellas. didn't mention any names, didn't say, let's just pick one at random. Representative Castro.
The House managers. Blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you're quite... Like they said, he said they were quoting pre-revolutionary stuff. So who said that? What did they say? How is that relevant to anything? No,
this is like
these fellas. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
This is like the nightmare of having a dream, or nightmare in this case, that you have an exam that you forgot about and an entire course you didn't attend, and you go to the exam. I mean, it's a stereotype, but you don't know any of the answers. This is what this guy is like. It's like he has nothing. He has absolutely nothing.
I think that's what MLK's dream was about. He turned up naked as well. It was a nightmare. Yeah.
Said he wore a bad suit. Ill-fitting.
No, well, I was about to say, I was joking, but you're throwing shade at MLK's tailor.
No, this guy.
How dare you?
White guy.
Yeah, white guy. Yeah, look at him. Shabby.
I mean, it's a nice suit, but it's ill-fitting.
Yeah, on a different shaped human, it would be very nice.
Yeah, it would be perfect.
Yeah.
For a guy about 3 inches taller and about 50
pounds. That the very
heavy.
first liberty, if you grant me that our liberties are enumerated in the Bill of Rights, it's not an accident that the very first liberty in the first article of the Bill of Rights is the First Amendment, which says Congress shall make no law abridging freedom of speech, etc. Congress shall make no law.
Etc.
Yeah, but it also has, though, quite literally, in the same way with the freedom to bear arms shall not be impeded or whatever.
Infringed.
Sorry, yeah. That has as well. Because again, it's being interpreted different ways throughout centuries of its existence.
Also, people are reasonable.
Yeah.
You can't say defamatory things. You can't incite people to violence as Trump did. So again, this is piss poor.
Well, that actually, someone makes the point. So this dude being paid by Trump couldn't afford a tailor. Maybe it's actually Trump's suit.
Maybe he got it. Yeah. Here, wear this. It's my lucky suit.
My lucky suit. Yeah. I wore this the first day I got impeached.
Very first one, the most important one, the ability to have free and robust debate, free and robust political speech.
And how is this being infringed in any way?
Something that...
How long was that gap again? This is at 1.5 speed, mate.
He's thinking. The wheels, the gears are turning.
Smoke
is pouring out of his
I'm
ears.
pressing the button and saying hesitation on this one. You've definitely fucked. That's a niche Radio 4 reference for you.
Yes. No deviation, repetition, or hesitation.
Exactly.
That Mr. Raskin and his team brought up is that it's somehow a suggestion from former President Trump's team that when various public officials were not denouncing the violence that we saw over the summer, that was somehow the former president equating that speech to his own. Not at all. Exactly backwards. I saw a headline, Representative so-and-so seeks to walk back comments about, I forget what it was, something that bothered her. I was devastated.
Don't come prepared or anything.
I don't know, something, she said something, I don't know, something that bothered her. Anyway, never mind. Anyway, moving on. Record players. Have I told you about, have I done the record player bit? Okay, shit.
Have you heard about those? Oh.
What the fuck? So, right, he's cited an unknown senator who was bothered about a thing, but can't remember. He's referred to the opposition council as "you fellas." Okay, I mean, Again, some very strong Sargon vibes on this. Fuck me.
Yes.
He's read the headline and went, "Yeah, I can do this. This is fine."
U.S. Chamber of Commerce is a government department, right?
Yeah. Oh, imagine getting fact checked by Joey. Oh, that's embarrassing, man. Fucking hell. Jesus.
I should clip that and just say fact check by Joey.
Exactly.
Oh, that was funny.
When I saw,
and then he's like, "Oh, sorry, can you pause it?" And then Sargon got all mad, like people were trying to deceive him by calling it a chamber. Like, we only have departments in the United States.
Well, we don't have chamber. Well, other than chamber council, which is a legal thing and therefore not really a government thing. we don't have chambers here. The British Chamber of Commerce is not a government organisation.
Yes.
So I don't know where he
Sargon's
thinks the
mad.
word chamber means. Like, I mean, there's the Chamber of the Commons, but that literally refers to a room.
Yes.
Because it's a chamber. Like, what the fuck? Oh, anyway.
Yeah. Oh, they're trying to trick me with their language. No, Carl, you're just ignorant.
No. Carl, it's very easy to confuse an idiot. Would be the way I would describe your issue in the situation.
Necessary to go on television yesterday or the day before and say she needs to walk back her comments. She should be able to comment as much as she wants. And she should be able...
Yeah, but, dickhead, no one's saying she has to. They're saying it would be good. It would be morally correct for her to walk those positions back, because that's wrong. No
That's
one's
also
saying
freedom of
she should be
speech.
forced to do so.
Right. And also, whoever she was, she didn't start an insurrection.
Well, depending on who he's referring to, because we literally don't know. He didn't mention a name. Just a person,
Or quote.
someone, said a thing, maybe. I don't know.
And then other people said some stuff about walking, but I don't know. Moving on.
Yeah, anyway, freedoms of the speeches. I rest my case. Like, fucking hell.
Check.
able to say exactly as she feels.
Checkmate.
And if she feels that the supporters of then President Trump are not worthy of having their ideas considered, she should be permitted to say that. And anybody who agrees should be...
I'm sorry, no. Trans gamer girl, bless you for trying. I'm not falling for that shit. They say, how do you keep an idiot in suspense? And then obviously the person waits for the answer, being kept in suspense. Yeah. You've essentially, fair play, it's better you didn't just say, what about Bofa? You did try a different tactic on me, but no. Not falling for it.
What was the other one?
Bofa. Bofa these nuts. You just Bofa'd yourself, woman. Embarrassing.
Okay, we're just gonna leave the both of these nuts.
You can't leave them, Kristi. Don't, ladies, gents, whoever, don't leave the nuts. Think of it like a little sexual squirrel. Oh, God.
Your brain, I swear to God.
Yeah.
Permitted to say they agree. That's what we...
No, they are permitted to. Literally, no one has said the random person who you're claiming said a thing should go to jail. They're saying that's a fucked up thing to say. Maybe you don't say that.
Again, inventing a thing that didn't happen and then having an argument about the thing in your head is very Sargon.
It is very Sargon. He doesn't know the person or what they said or what the people who responded said, but he's definitely going to argue freedoms of the peaches. Okay, good.
But by the way, I love this. Erica Baker in the chat says, first things I heard when I unmuted was sexual squirrels. This is
sexual squirrel.
Suspicious.
Is it suspicious or is it very much on brand?
I think on brand.
Oh, he did a stretch. Big stretch. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Is he going to get down? Or is he just going to turn around and lie back down? You fat, lazy bastard. Look at the gut hanging off there. You disgusting mess.
Oh, settled in where he has a nice
But look,
view.
the gut is hanging over the edge. Am I feeding you too much? Apparently I'm not feeding him at all. That's his new claim. I have never fed him. Typical cat.
Yeah.
Away from Great Britain in order to be able to do. To be able to say what we thought in the most robust political debate. My colleague, Mike Vanderveen, is going to give you a recitation on the First Amendment law of the United States. I commend it to your attention, the analysis that he's going to give you. I don't expect, and I don't believe that the former president expects anybody to walk back any of the language. If that's how they feel about the way...
What?
Dickhead, he's asked for apologies for the most minor of
Yes.
insults. He's
Yes.
threatened to sue everyone who's ever said anything about him.
Do you know Donald Trump?
Well, he's only met him last week or whatever. Cause I don't know if that's actually true, but you know, you get
But
the
it's
joke.
so funny. Yes.
This is nonsense, mate. What are you fucking talking about? I don't think Donald Trump's ever asked anyone to walk back any comments. That's never happened.
way things transpired over the last couple of years in this country, they should be allowed to say that, and I will go to court and defend them if anything happens to them as a result. If the government takes action against that state representative or that U.S. representative who wants to walk back her comments, the government takes action against her, I have no problem going into court and defending her right to say those things, even though I don't agree with them.
What? No one's saying... Okay.
This trial is not about trading liberty for security.
So why are you talking about it then? literally, in your own words, this trial is not about the thing I'm talking about. That genuinely, that's a bizarre admission. It's the only accurate thing he said so far, but it is a bizarre thing for a lawyer to say.
Again, paying by the hour for this. He bills hourly, I'm sure.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. This is the legal equivalent of the taxi driver that takes you the long way.
Yes.
So he gets paid more. That's it. That's all that's taking place there.
And can talk at you the whole time.
Yeah.
It's about trading. It's about suggesting that it is a good idea that we give up those liberties that we have so long fought
Who's
for.
asking to get rid of liberties?
Sent armies to other parts of the world to convince those governments to implement the freedoms that we enjoy. This trial is about...
Wow, okay. I mean, I wasn't... I mean, I've seen this before, but I'll just give you it as if I'm watching it for the first time. I wasn't expecting like a weird pseudo-defense of imperialism as part of this,
regime
but
change.
Thanks, I guess, for being so nakedly evil. That's weird.
Is about trading liberty for the security from the mob? Honestly, no. It can't be. We can't be thinking about that. We can't possibly be suggesting that we punish people for political speech in this country.
Who is suggesting that you do that?
Yeah, we're holding him accountable.
Yeah,
for a crime.
He incited a riot. No one is
died.
We are suggesting you get security from the mob that Trump incited, but no one's suggesting anyone gives up any liberties to do that.
No, if crimes are committed, you said you supported seeing them prosecuted. That's what you're participating in right now, the prosecution of a crime. It's a violation of his oath of office.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, and he should be removed from ever running from office again.
Absolutely.
And if people go and commit lawless acts as a result of their beliefs and they cross the line, they should be locked up.
I agree. Donald Trump should be locked up, yes.
And in fact, I've seen quite a number of the complaints that were filed against the people who breached the Capitol. Some of them charged conspiracy. Not a single one of them I noticed charges conspiracy with the 45th President of the United States.
That's not quite what's being asked, though, is it? It's not literally...
No
one has suggested that he literally rang up the QAnon shaman and went, Dave, or whatever his name is, Dave, do you want to do a little bit of insurrection at the Capitol? Like, no one's saying that. It's not.
No.
He's not the Osama bin Laden of the raid, right? He's like whoever the religious dude is at the head of that sect. That's like kind of generally spurring them on to a thing.
Yeah, and the House managers today presented the evidence that undercuts this idea by quoting actual people who were at the event or the insurrection, saying, "Oh yeah, we're here because Trump. He wants all able-bodied here. The cavalry is coming."
Yeah,
they knew what they were talking about.
Yeah, Trump's lawyer going on about trial by combat.
Yes,
that's not exactly coded language.
No,
that's about as subtle as fucking getting your dick out and swinging it around, going, "I want to have sex."
Yeah,
it's
trial
not
by
the most
combat
subtle. Come on.
Makes right.
Yeah.
Probably because prosecutors have an ethical requirement that they are not allowed to charge people with criminal offenses without probable cause. You might consider that.
What?
And if we go down the road that
he's already impeached,
very worthy adversary here, Mr. Raskin, asks you to go down.
Oh, he mentioned one by
the floodgates will open.
Good stuff. He mentioned.
I was going to
notably, he knew the name of the white guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It will. Instead of floodgates, I was going to say originally it will release the whirlwind, which is a biblical reference.
Kraken.
But I subsequently learned since I got here that particular phrase has already been taken, so I figured I better change it to floodgates.
Why did you tell us that, though?
That's supposed to be a joke, I think.
Really? It's already been taken, so okay, all right. This is one occasion upon which don't show you're working. Just tell us the fucking thing. Like we don't need your weird fucking. Oh, actually, I crossed out the word such and such and replaced it with. I don't care.
Yes, it has nothing to do with your argument.
Yeah, Donald Trump's definitely innocent because he changed the word floodgate to Watergate or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know. I don't care.
I actually saw a joke today told by one of the House managers that did get a laugh. Did you happen to see that?
Possibly.
Okay, it's okay if you don't remember. It was Joaquin Castro.
Right.
And he was talking about Trump's reaction after having lost the election. He said, you know, I've been in several elections and I've lost some elections. It's not fun. You know, I'm a Democrat from Texas though. So what do you expect? And people like laughed across the chamber because it was self-deprecating and cute and funny and true, which is why it was funny. And even the Republicans could laugh at that joke. What is this?
Yeah, this is nothing. We already saw the height of his comedic peak with the record. His fantastic skit on the record player. Absolutely killer material.
Yeah, it'll go down in history.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, the right club on the right night, it's absolute baller material. I'm telling you.
But the political pendulum will shift one day. This chamber and the chamber across the way will change one day.
Yeah.
And partisan impeachments will become commonplace. You know, until the impeachment of Bill Clinton, no one alive had ever
by the way, was it a partisan impeachment? But yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, not at all. That wasn't a partisan impeachment. No.
Through a presidential impeachment. Not unless some of you are 150 years old. Not a single person alive had lived through a presidential impeachment. Now most of us have lived through 3 of them. Yep. This is supposed to be the ultimate safety valve, the last thing that happens, the most rare treatment. And
but the thing is, dude, Clinton was impeached because he lied about getting head. Not about anything of any real importance or significance. He didn't lie about stealing money from the U.S. taxpayer or something.
No. And he also didn't lie to Congress when he submitted his answers to his first impeachment like Trump did.
Yeah. Thank you.
Which is perjury.
Indeed. Thank you to Left Flank Lorax for following. Go and follow me on Twitch.
Where this body is sitting as a court of impeachment, among the most rare things it does. So the slippery slope principle will have taken hold if we continue to go forward with what is happening today and scheduled to happen later this week. And after we are long done here, and after there has been a shift in the political winds, and after there is a change in the makeup of the United States House of Representatives, and maybe a change in the makeup of the United States Senate, the pressure from those folks back home, especially for members of the House, is going to be tremendous. Because remember, the founders recognized that the argument that I started with, that...
Hang on, he started with an argument. Did I miss something?
Yeah, he thinks he started with an argument, but it's only in his mind.
Yeah.
And by the way, I will go on the record. If any Democrat in the White House spends 4 weeks organizing and inciting mobs to local violence and then calling them to DC, and then gives a speech right before an insurrection where he sends them to Congress to tell them they have to fight like hell or they're not going to have a country, impeach him or her.
Yeah.
I'll say that now.
Absolutely. Now, I know Biden won't do that because that is some premium grade malarkey. And as we know, this is the first openly anti-malarkey White House ever. So.
Yes, quite.
Elysian Gauntlet with 100 bits, thank you very much, says, Yo, Kev, add some more emojis in here, you lazy feck. Yeah.
Oh, that's Kevin's modus operandi is lazy feck.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, I have tried to add some more, but for some reason, the images I want to use, it won't let me.
No. Although when he does get annoyed by something, he won't stop until he finishes.
Yeah, and I'm not annoyed about this. Clearly. Otherwise it would have happened. And Elysian Gorman says, hashtag Rory cats aren't enough. Oh, thank you very much. He's there. Look at him. There he is.
Aww.
Anyway.
Political pressure is driven by the need for immediate action because something under contemporary community standards really horrific happened, and the people represented by the members of the United States House of Representatives become incensed. And what do you do if a federal issue, if you're back in suburban Philadelphia, and something happens that makes the people who live there incensed? You call your congressman, and your congressman, elected every 2 years with their pulse on the people of their district, 750,000 people, they respond. And boy, do they respond. The congressman calls you back, a staffer calls you back, you get all the information that they have on the issue. Sometimes you even get invited to submit a language that would improve whatever the issue is. Well, when the pendulum swings, perhaps the next person that gets impeached and is set here for you to consider is Eric Holder during Fast and Furious, the Attorney General of the United States, or any other person that the other party considers to be a political danger to them down the road because of their avowed abilities and being articulate and having a resume that shows that they're capable. I picked Eric.
He's a real fan of Eric Holder, huh?
Yeah, apparently.
He thinks Eric Holder is amazing if that's what he's describing, like the candidate. What?
Yeah, again, I'm not sure he's met Eric Holder, but okay. Okay.
He did a lot of good stuff on redistricting and.
No, that's why I'm not saying he's not a good administrator, but he's talking about him as if he's like one of the great orators of all time, where he's actually just quite a boring administrator, which is fine, but you know. That's actually America could do with more boring administrators and less bombastic twats.
Definitely.
Or fewer bombastic twats. Let's be correct, English, Kev. Come on now.
He's had a tremendous career, and he might be somebody that some Republicans somewhere might be worried about. So maybe the next person they go after is Eric Holder. And, you know, the Republicans might regain the House in 2 years. History does tend to suggest that the party out of power in the White House does well in the midterm elections. And certainly the 2020 elections, the House gained, the House majority narrowed, and there was a gain of Republicans.
Is this a threat?
Yeah, basically, yeah. If you do this now, we'll do a thing that you won't like.
Yeah, we're going to come and get you. Basically, if you hold our guy accountable, we're going to abuse our power to get you.
Yeah, nice democratic processes you've got here. Shame if something happened to them.
Yep. So much for loving Rome.
The members of the House, they have to worry about these.
Yeah, why not just stab Eric Holder to death in the Senate?
Sic semper, what?
Sic semper tyrannis. Thus be it ever to tyrants. Yeah. That's, by the way, that's. I'm not suggesting they actually do that to Eric Holder. That's a reference to Caesar being killed.
Yes.
I'm joking. I'm saying that Rome is not necessarily the highest ethical standard to which you should hold yourself.
Now, does that predate Shakespeare, or is that a phrase that Shakespeare came up with that then became associated with it?
I'm not sure, but I know that et tu brute is entirely a fabrication of Shakespeare.
I'll look it up and see if it's mentioned in any of the Roman history.
He actually just said, Casca, what are you doing? Was his final actual words. Casca being the first person who goes to stab him and misses, I believe. But anyway. So, yeah. And indeed, so is the friends, Romans, countrymen bit. That's entirely fabricated as well. Actually,
well, I mean, it's Shakespeare.
Yeah, it's Shakespeare, yeah. But
yeah, people mistake it for
his own. The actual funeral of Caesar is a phenomenal event. It turned into a massive fucking riot.
Yeah, he was hugely popular with the masses. He definitely cultivated popularity.
And let's say the people who did the actual conspiracy didn't work out well for them. They were not remembered or treated well. Most of them ended up dead very soon afterward. Anyway.
Apparently, they say, a descendant of Brutus was Senator Marcus Junius Brutus, who was present at the assassination.
He was.
While he is sometimes credited with the original phrase, or originating the phrase, Plutarch suggests either he did not have a chance to say anything, or if he did, no one heard it. So it looks like Sic semper tyrannis is at least mentioned in Plutarch.
So it predates...
Seems to, yes.
Predates old shaky boy. Okay.
Consequences, because if they don't react to whatever the problem of the day is.
How can you follow me on Twitch? Go to twitch.tv/KFLogan1875. It's linked below, and you have to sign up for an account on Twitch, but it's free. And then you could just press the follow button. Yeah.
1875.
That is the number.
Somebody in that jurisdiction there, somebody is going to say,
is he still talking?
If you make me the congressman, I'll react to that. And that means that the sitting member has to worry about it because their terms are short. And it's not just members of the House of Representatives with their short terms. I saw on television the last couple of days the honorable gentleman from Nebraska, Mr. Sass. I saw that he faced backlash back home because of a vote he made some weeks ago. That a political party was complaining about a decision he made as a United States Senator. You know, it's interesting because I don't want to steal the thunder from the other lawyers, but Nebraska, you're going to hear, is quite a judicial thinking place. And just maybe Senator Sass's
judicial thinking.
You'll hear about what it is that the
I've always known Nebraska is known for two things: corn husking and judicial thinking, and they're all out of corn.
Well, it's very important. Yeah. It's a judicial thinking place.
Yeah.
It's a place where judicial thinking is.
Yeah. It's ironically, it's probably one of the only places in the world that's ever done judicial thinking. I believe that to be the case.
To that level, like it has a dedicated place for judicial thinking.
Kristi, can you look up whether Nebraska as a judicial thinking place predates Shakespeare or not, please? Anyway, thank you to Jalicia1650 and Mr. Paper Chaser OG who followed me on Twitter, on Twitch even. I don't know which one of that was the person who was looking for the thing. But one of them presumably was that person. I don't know. Anyway.
Glad you found it.
That's the thing. And you should do as well, because I think from next week I'm going to do a thing called Twitch Tuesday, where I do a show just on Twitch. Because then you can play things from Twitch TV, from Amazon Prime videos and stuff, so that we can sort of do some interesting, hopefully creative things there. And I can actually spend some time with Twitch chat, because I very rarely even look at Twitch chat, because I have brief seconds between clips to like look at the chats and stuff. Hello, by the way, I'm looking at Twitch chat now. Hello. And yeah, thank you to Zim Stuff for following me there as well. Anyway, so on Tuesdays I'll probably just be broadcasting on Twitch and doing some stuff with that. So if you wanna get the full K Logan experience from next week, you'll have to be on Twitch as well. So go and follow me there.
Nebraska courts have to say about the issue that you all are deciding this week. There seem to be some pretty smart jurists in Nebraska, and I can't believe a United States senator doesn't know that.
Ooh, throwing shade at the senator from Nebraska.
Yeah, and here's one thing I do notice the House managers don't do, which is they don't really call out senators by name. I think I heard one person reference a seat where Chuck Grassley sat, where a senator during like the 1830s or whatever 50s trial took place sat. That's it. Like there's none of this sort of like, front row at the open mic night where you're asked a lot of questions by the comedian who doesn't have enough jokes. But this guy is constantly like, dropping names. It's a bit tacky.
Yeah. Someone said the alerts are quite loud, so I'm going to try and change that live if I can. Moderator tools. That's not right.
Again, fascinating.
Well, it's Kristi. Shut the fuck up.
I think it would probably be in your settings, wouldn't it?
Oh, you do you?
Well, I'm just saying.
Variations, animation, media. There we go. Volume down to.
Yeah.
Let's go down to 8.
Oh, I see a little dog. Yeah, you're trying to change the images.
Yeah, I am. It's in media, isn't it? So that's already at 7. Merch isn't a thing. Subscriptions, media, that's at 7. So which bits were too loud? Follows?
Well,
have I not changed follows as a thing? Oh yeah, that's at 50. Oh, that's too loud.
That's way too loud.
Yeah, sorry. Hosts? I probably haven't changed that. Not many people host.
Kevin's just doing all his admin works now.
Raids.
Volume down to, don't need that at 50.
No. And Cloudbot, I don't even know what that is, so fuck off. Done. Anyway, so yeah, Ben Sass is a bitch or something?
Oh yeah, you guys couldn't see that. All of that was taking place on a different screen. So you just get to look at this guy while Kevin does his
Yeah, no, exactly. No, this was all off screen. I mean, I should be professional about it and done that off screen and just be like, didn't change anything. But it now should be a lot quieter. So if someone wants to follow me on Twitch, you'll get the quiet experience of that. That's a weird way of trying to incentivize it. Yeah, follow me on Twitch and you won't have your eardrums blown off.
Exactly.
A senator like the gentleman from Nebraska, whose Supreme Court history is ever present in his mind, and rightfully so, he faces the whirlwind, even though...
Eldritch Dennis Prager, what the fuck is that?
I mentioned this the last time we did a show together, which is it is like nightmare fuel video about Dennis Prager. And if you want to do a palate cleanser, we could watch it.
Okay.
Because we've been going for a while with this guy. We could use a break.
Does someone want to link me that?
Just go to YouTube, open a new window. It'd be faster if you just type Eldritch Dennis Prager because it'll start to auto-fill for you. And yeah, I mean, I'm just going to say nightmare fuel. It is bizarre and freaky.
This is something like he did?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Yep, see, it's already popped up.
Oh, so it's quite popular then, I would say. Oh, Lord. What a thumbnail. Okay. Featuring Dave Rubin. Okay.
Yeah. Of course, there's an ad.
Of course there is.
There you go. Someone in the chat's very excited.
Okay. Is that on the screen? Yes.
Gay should struggle to lead a heterosexual life.
That's interesting.
If there were no moral rules and no police, men would grab
Is that someone
women
giving him
and do
head?
what they wanted as a rule. That is the way men are made.
Yeah.
The fact that
I think
your
it's-
man
I don't know what that
doesn't
is.
act that way.
It's someone with their face in his lap. I mean, what am I to take from that?
Oh, I didn't see that the first time. I was too busy looking at the face going, that
Yeah.
is just horrific. Dave Rubin actually looks like Dave Rubin, but he
But
kind of
what's-
looks like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Is that the head? Is that that's the arms? Head, what?
Well, wait, no, I count at least 4 hands. So there's one on his shoulder, there's one in the far left corner, his hand, but then there's one under his armpit, and there's also one on his thigh.
So I just saw the arm go in there, and I thought the head. Anyway.
Rules and no police. Men would grab women and do what they wanted as a rule. That is the way men are made.
What?
The fact that your man
Basic
doesn't
pause.
act that way is because
He's arguing that all men are rapists.
Yeah.
That's what he's arguing.
Yeah.
That men are naturally rapists, and it's only society that holds you guys at bay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Kevin? Do you feel empowered? Do you feel like he's pro-man?
A bit insulted.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit insulted.
That's
because he is.
What?
Patriarchy uses an assumed natural violence of men to control women.
Yeah.
He's been given a set of rules, and because he knows that he will be punished.
But see, that's
The
so interesting
rules,
to me.
Men know this, and we males, I am one of them. I am male.
Yeah.
We know this from a very early age. We can't act out our sexual nature.
If the dial of ideas was turned to low for the last few years, it's quickly moving into the hot position. And I have to say that my brain is still in recovery mode from taking in so many high-level important ideas.
Oh, God.
My life is devoted to fighting evil. I want to destroy evil. This is really critical. If there's no God, there's no good and evil. There are only opinions about good and evil. Here is a fact.
There's no God over me. There's no policeman over me. There's no one over me. I am God.
Horrible.
Told you. I mean, I think I said we can stop it now.
That was just unsettling.
After I watched it, I went back and I watched some videos on metamorphosis because it reminded me of the Kafka story that we learned. Like, why would you teach metamorphosis to like teenagers?
Yeah,
I don't.
Weird.
It is really weird, and it's pretty high level for people who haven't lived long enough to really experience a lot, if they're like, lucky. And it's just, so bizarre. Like, as an adult, I can understand it on a very different level.
It's just
but
a cute story about a beetle.
No, it is so not. And it's supposed to be about alienation, right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, his father gains back his sense of like confidence and self-worth by going out to work. So what? Dangle.
There we go.
Rory Katz wants to know why you've replaced the wider windowsills with these narrow windowsills that his arms and gut hang off of.
I have not replaced anything. They've been there. They came with the house.
They're shrinking. They're shrinking.
No, you're getting fat. You're not even really Rory Katz. Shut up. You're a person pretending to be Rory Katz. He's definitely not speaking. He's on camera. He's not speaking.
I'm throwing my voice.
Anyway. All right.
Oh, he knows what the judiciary in his state thinks. People back home will demand their House members continue the cycle as political fortunes rise and fall. The only entity that stands between the bitter infighting that led to the downfall of the Greek Republic and the Roman Republic and
They weren't
the American
republics
Republic.
in Greek.
No.
They didn't have Greek republics. They were city-states, and they were direct democracies, like by lottery and shit.
Yeah.
Very Sargon-esque.
Is the Senate of the United States.
Had some badass philosophers, though.
Shall the business of the Senate, and thus the nation, come to a halt, not just for the current weeks while a new president is trying to fill out his administration, but shall the business of the Senate and the nation come to a halt because impeachment becomes the rule rather than the rare exception? I know you can see this as a possibility because not a single one of you ever thought you would be doing a second impeachment inside of 13 months.
They also didn't think there'd be an insurrection inside 13 months. So. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And the pressure will be enormous to respond in kind. To quote Everett Dirksen, the gallant men...
Hang on, why will it be?
You're saying the Republicans are gonna go and get him.
Yeah. Pretty fucked.
Men and women of the Senate will not allow that to happen. And this republic will endure. Because the top responsibility of a United States Senator and the top characteristic that you all have in common, and boy, this is a diverse group, but there isn't a single one of you who, A, doesn't consider yourself a patriot of the United States, and two, there isn't a single one of you who doesn't consider the other 99 to be patriots of the United States.
I would doubt that, actually. Holly and Crew, I think, would have some problems with that statement.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, yeah. Tuberville thinks anyone to the left of Mussolini isn't a patriot, so, like... Well, he doesn't know who Mussolini is, but if he did, he would definitely think that.
And that is why this attack on the Constitution will not prevail. The document that is before you is flawed. The rule of the Senate concerning impeachment documents, Articles of Impeachment, Rule 23, says that such documents cannot be divided. You might have seen that we wrote that in the answer.
Yeah, because a document divided can't stand against itself. Abraham Lincoln joke.
Yes, I see. I made the connection.
Legalistic or legalese for the newspapers to opine on very much, but there is some significance. The House managers, clever fellows that they are, they cast a broad net. They need to get 67 of you to agree they're right. And that's a good strategy. I would use the same strategy, except there is a rule that says you can't use that strategy. You see, Rule 23 says that the article of impeachment is indivisible. And the reason why that's significant is you have to agree that every single aspect of the entire document warrants impeachment because it's an all or nothing document. You can't cut out parts that you agree with warrant impeachment and parts that don't. Because
Kevin,
it's not divisible.
I'm sure that they really appreciate their time being taken up with a guy explaining to them something they already know because they did an impeachment 13 months ago.
Yeah. I'm gonna take you idiots through the very basics of the process. I mean,
I'm gonna treat you like it's Schoolhouse Rock time.
Yeah, exactly. Then he brings out a prop of the actual the Bill thing. Like his name is Bill. Okay, I'd like to introduce you to Bill.
Yes. I swear, did he go, hey, you know, I've given some lectures on stuff like this in my time, so I'll just get my lecture notes out.
Yeah.
And I'll get history wrong, and I'll lecture these senators on a basic constitutional issue that they know. Brilliant.
Yeah, it is. It's magnificent.
It flat out says in the Senate rules it's not divisible. Now, previous impeachments, like President Clinton, said the president shall be found guilty of high crimes and misdemeanor for engaging in one or more of the following, and then gives a list. So all you had to do was win one. But they do that here. Has to be all or nothing. And some of these things that you are asked to consider might be close calls in your mind. But one of them is not.
Oh, we've got cat scratch.
The argument about the 14th Amendment is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, don't have the page with a tab or anything. Don't prep that. Get up and thumb through it like you're while you're talking.
Yeah, so you got right to bear arms. Yeah, you don't have to incriminate yourself. Which one is it? Number 13, 14. 14, here we go, yeah. Like, This is
their opening statement.
I'm sure senators love having their time wasted with you thumbing through your pocket constitution.
The House managers had a multimedia video and stills, like whatever, thumb drive ready to go, professionally run, and you're paging through a constitution you pulled out of your pocket because you didn't write it down.
Yeah.
On your notes.
It's amazing. I didn't even bother writing down the bit from the thing I wanted to quote.
Well, he didn't know he wanted to quote it till he just thought of
it. Yeah, 5 minutes before this, he was not planning on quoting from Article 14.
But then he remembered he has a constitution in his back pocket.
Yeah, which was lucky, because he hadn't planned on that. It was just happened to be there.
Managers tell you that the president should be impeached because he violated the 14th Amendment.
For God's sake. Okay, news now from Fox. We get it. You want to earn some dollar.
And here's what the 14th Amendment says. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or any other state who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution and shall have engaged...
We have a cat who's gotten down, so that's end of kitty cat for now.
Okay. Well, it's time to readjust.
No, I'm good. I'm now just in the center of the screen.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Anyway.
In insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may vote by 2/3 of each house to remove such disability. Now, it doesn't take a constitutional scholar to recognize that that's written for people who fought for the Confederacy or previous military officers who were in the government of the Confederacy. And it doesn't take...
Well, yeah, but just because it was written about a specific thing doesn't mean it no longer applies. Like, it wasn't time dated to just people in the Confederacy.
No. Going forward.
Yeah.
Anyone who does that.
Yeah, from here on out, if you do some fucked up shit about, rebelling against the United States, that's not cool.
If you do an insurrection, this will apply.
Yeah.
Because we missed this one out. They didn't have one for this, so we put it in now.
Exactly. That's what amendments are for, to change a thing. A new thing cropped up, so they went, okay, should we pass a thing and close that little loophole?
Yeah.
I can't believe they missed out the loophole on rebelling against the government or whatever, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, Haruk in the chat points out they had Confederate flags at the insurrection.
Yeah, literally in the room you're now stood in, Mr. At the time this was filmed. Yeah, they literally had Confederate flags. So, kind of seems like it's still sort of appropriate, even time dated wise.
Constitutional scholar to require that they be convicted first in a court with due process of law. So that question can never be ripe until those things have happened. Now, if you...
Well, I've got no problem with Trump also going and getting done in a court of law as well. That's fine.
Yeah, that can happen too. I mean, he's still individual one in the Michael Cohen case for which he went to prison. Cohen went to prison for that shit, so why shouldn't Trump? He was the one who was the principal beneficiary. Yep. But even that, like, the thing is, if the argument is that you have to wait till someone leaves office to convict them of a crime and then impeach them, but you're also arguing you can't impeach them because they're out of office.
Yeah, so a president can do any... A president literally is above the law.
Yeah, is what he's arguing.
Yeah, which is... I think that's wrong.
Yeah, that just isn't kind of like... It's not really in concordance with the rest of the spirit of the document.
No.
Which was designed for a separation of powers and a checks and balances.
Yeah.
One of the checks is impeachment.
Yeah, exactly. But as always, Trump's checks bounce. That's a legal thing. Monetary thing.
Well, I mean, it is a legal contract. A check is ultimately you're signing a contract.
True,
to
but
pay.
Kristi, thank you for trying to cover, but I fucked it up. I fluffed the line. Doesn't matter. Moving on. I'm low energy anyway.
Yeah, Ratchet, Raggedy, Kev, Raggedy Kev doll.
You agree with those arguments, and I know you all get your constitutions out and you'll read it. And if you agree with those arguments, the suggestion that the 14th Amendment applies here is ridiculous. And if you come to that conclusion, then because the managers have not separated out the any counts within the article of impeachment, the whole thing falls. I didn't write that. They are married to that.
Oh, so it's a loophole defense.
Yeah. Not that he's innocent of anything, but technically, they didn't cross their I's and dot their T's in a way that would be easier for them. So checkmate.
So just let a guilty
communists.
person walk away because he's a rich white guy that you like.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a cover for your ass on this one. They didn't. Yeah, 14th Amendment. Didn't you read it?
Yeah. Don't you all have Pocket Amendment things? Yeah.
That's not as good as
responses because I didn't know how to respond to the cast the wide net effort. And fortunately, senators sometime in the past realized that you can't do that because you pass a rule that says, hey, you can't do that. So that's why it's flawed. It's flawed in other ways too, and my colleagues will explain that.
No, they won't.
No, they didn't.
I was struck. I thought the House managers who spoke earlier were brilliant speakers. And I made some notes, and they'll hear about what I think about some of the things they said later when I'm closing the case. But I thought they were brilliant speakers, and I loved listening to them. And they were smart fellas.
Not the women.
Why are the House
not
manager...
the women, just the fellas.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, sexism.
Yeah.
Afraid, and why is the majority of the House of Representatives afraid of the American people? I mean, let's understand why we are really...
Wait. A mob of people stormed the Capitol incited by Donald Trump. They're not afraid of the people. They're afraid of Trump's cultists.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Exactly that. Yeah, exactly. Like someone does attempted murder on you, and they're like, "Why are you scared of the people?" No, I'm scared of the defendant because he tried to kill me. The rest of the people are fine. There's no issue.
We're really here because the majority in the House of Representatives does not want to face Donald Trump as a political rival in the future. That's the real reason we're here. That's why they have to get over the jury.
They just beat him. Really soundly.
Yes, by a landslide.
Well, I mean, Trump
by
certainly
a Trumpian
said...
landslide.
Yeah, Trump said it was a landslide 4 years ago. And he was as wrong then as he would be now if he said it.
Yes.
And with the two faithless electors he had, that means he actually was... He won by a smaller margin... than Joe Biden did. And he lost the popular vote by like 7 million people, which is fucking incredible that it should ever be anywhere near as close with that kind of margin. But whatever. Yeah, the Electoral College, etc., etc. So, so they're clearly not that scared of him.
Yes.
He's a political busted flush. You move on,
Yeah, I just want to, again, the House managers, they won't make this closing argument, but do you really want to go back to the days when every time you walked out of your office, you dreaded seeing reporters because you knew you're going to be asked about some incendiary Trump tweet? Are you do you really want to go back to the days where you would hear that Trump had tweeted something out about you and you got a pit in your stomach because you didn't know if it was nice or not? Do you really want to have this man bullying you and insulting you again? Well, you don't have to. You just need the courage to do the right thing. He committed the crime. Yeah. Remove him from office and make sure he never runs again. Well, that's it. He's removed from office, but bar him.
Yeah, put it in a way that would really hit them viscerally. Just walk up there and go, stop being a bunch of fucking cocks.
Quit simping for Trump.
I rest my case. And that actually might make them think, oh shit, are we? Is that what we're doing here? Oh no. Oh no.
Jurisdictional hurdle, which they can't get over, but that's why they have to get over that in order to get to the part of the Constitution that allows removal. So that's nobody says it that plainly, but unfortunately I have a way of speaking that way. And the reason that I am having trouble with the argument is the American people just spoke. And they just changed administration.
That's the reason you're struggling with this question, my friend.
Yeah, if you'd have thought about what you wanted to say into a coherent, structured sentence format, then you wouldn't be struggling. Yeah. If you did that before.
Yeah.
Not during.
I'm struggling with this question because I am bad at my job.
Yeah.
I yield the remainder of my time.
I made a terrible mistake in throwing away my prepared statement. I yield back the remainder of my time.
Reiterate, would also have been shit, but it was even worse than this. So, checkmate.
Oh no! I just want to. And finally, distinguished and honorable members of the Senate, I am not a cat.
I am not a cat.
Thank you very much. I'm here all week.
I rest my cat. As he goes and starts licking his balls in the corner. Yeah, because he's a cat. Anyway.
Maybe that's why his suit doesn't fit.
So in the light most favorable to my colleagues on the other side of the aisle here, their system works. The people are smart enough in the light most favorable to them. They're smart enough to pick a new administration if they don't like the old one. And they just did. And he's down there, Pennsylvania Avenue now.
Oh, this was the bit that Trump was screaming at. Yeah. They're able to make Donald Trump lose, and they did. Because Trump's a loser.
Yeah, because he lost. He lost. He got his ass handed to him.
Oh, Donald.
Loser.
Even your own lawyers think you lost.
Loser. Yeah, just own it. Take the L. Go back to Florida.
Well,
Just
technically, he's
do it.
already in Florida. He's done that bit
I
of
was
it.
like,
But
and just shut the fuck up and have some dignity. But of course, he's genetically incapable. Like,
yeah,
I think
he's like
he's kryptonite.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when you pour water on a witch. That's what happens with Trump and dignity.
Is that a Wizard of Oz reference?
That is a Wizard of Oz reference. You're very welcome.
It's like, what do you have against Wicca, man? You call me Shady Winters.
Oh no, I'm not on about actual. I'm on about like the Wizard of Oz, with the Wicked Witch of the West,
Okay.
melts.
Hashtag not all witches.
Hashtag not all witches. That is true. That is
They
true.
don't all melt.
No, some of them. I mean, I presume the rest of the actual witches bathe normally. So
With no problems.
yeah, they're probably fine. You know.
No hydrophobia there.
No.
Probably wondering, how come none of my stuff is happening up at the Capitol?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
How come none of my stuff is happening up at the? Well, they didn't do fuck all before. They sat on COVID relief for months.
Yeah.
They're
Why?
getting used to getting paid for doing
Why
shit.
do the members of the House of Representatives, the majority of the House of Representatives, why are they afraid of the very people that sent them
Oh no,
to do this?
I think because we were halfway through pausing, he was referring to Biden saying that, like as if Biden's going, thinking that this is somehow bad for him.
No,
Why is it?
exactly.
By
He's gonna
comparison,
look
this is making him look almost fucking historically good by comparison. You know?
Yeah,
this
he's
is,
sitting at 58% approval,
yeah, absolutely.
which Trump
This
couldn't
job.
touch with a
The people
10-foot
that-
pole.
Yeah.
They hope will continue to send them back here. Why are they afraid that those same people who were smart enough to pick them as their congressman aren't smart enough to pick somebody who is a candidate for president of the United States? Why fear that the people will all of a sudden forget how to choose an administration in the next few years? And in fact, this happens all the time when there are changes in administrations from one-term presidents to others.
Oh, one term, Donald. Oh.
I missed that at 2 times speed. Ooh, stick the dagger in and twist it, why don't you?
There it is. There's your closed
Ouch.
caption. Get a look at that.
Ouch.
One-term presidents. old fucking one-term Johnny.
Yep.
Eh?
Carter, Bush, and Trump.
Oof. Which, by the way, is a better legal team than this guy.
Yeah.
Old Carter, Bush, and Trump. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Well, Nixon was sort of one and a half
Skip it.
term, but Nixon to
Nixon was 1.5. No, Nixon was 2 terms. He just didn't serve the full second term.
Correct.
He won 2 elections.
Yes.
One of
He was
them
elected
a little
twice.
bit fraudulently, as we found out later, but it doesn't really matter. Like he still won. He was still. That's the thing. He didn't need to cheat. He didn't need to do it. He was pretty popular.
Yeah, that was
Bizarrely.
his thing. Yes, again, it's just the megalomania, the paranoia,
Yeah.
the narcissism.
Yeah. And by the way, phenomenally anti-Semitic. I don't know if you heard if you've listened to the Nixon
Oh,
tapes.
just generally racist.
He was phenomenally
Yeah.
like he was genuinely like secret cabal of Jews running the world crazy. Like he was
Mm-hmm.
really bad person. But there we go. Which is odd because he was such big friends with Henry Kissinger. You're like, but he is a Jewish guy who's trying to run the world. What the fuck?
Well,
This
then
is
you get one of
madness.
those, but you're one of the good ones.
Yeah,
Fucking
but he wasn't.
What?
He was a genuinely evil Jewish person who was trying to fuck with other people around the world.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
he
think his
did it.
Jewishness was like, just like a descriptor. It has nothing to do with the evilness. He just had shitty policy approaches and like what he wanted to do. Yeah, but it had nothing to do with a cabal or his
No.
religion.
No, true. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just saying, like, it's Henry Kissinger doesn't like back up the truth of the general truth that Jewish people aren't a secret cabal trying to like manipulate world affairs because he is.
Well,
that.
again, he's not a cabal.
No, he's not a cabal. But if there were a Jewish cabal, he would be like king of it.
I'm not going to go here.
There isn't, but let's be honest, he would definitely be king of it because he would have manipulated even the Jews in the Jewish cabal. That's how
Is he still
manipulative
alive?
he is. He, unfortunately, very much so. Yeah.
All right. Someone else died recently. Yeah, hard to keep
We
track
are
of this.
seriously. If I'm, I presume I'll still be broadcasting, assuming any platform will allow me at the time. When Henry Kissinger dies, we will be doing a celebration stream. Just
Okay,
know
well,
that.
again,
Know that.
this is why you're not monetized.
No.
Ford.
You're giving up
Ford to
monetization
Carter to
for
Reagan,
your
Bush 41 to Clinton.
ethics.
That happens. The people get tired of an administration they don't want, and they know how to change it. And they just did. So
Trump, you
why
lost, you little
think
bitch.
that they won't know how to do it in 2024 if they want to? Or is that what the fear is? Is the fear that the people in 2024, in fact, will want to change and will want to go back to Donald Trump and not the current occupant of the White House, President Biden?
What does it have to do with anything? It's Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley are like, are you talking about us?
Yeah, it's just bizarre.
Because all these other times, the people were smart enough to do it, choose who the president should be. And all these other times, they're smart enough to choose who their members of Congress were. And by the way, choose you all as well. But they're not smart enough to know how to change the administration, especially since they just did. So it seems pretty evident to me that they
literally, I can understand why Donald's, because he's like, you're laying it on a bit thick, lad. Yeah, I lost. You don't have to say it 15 times in a row. Like, even I'm sitting here thinking, he doesn't need to pile on Trump that much. And I've done like 20 MAGA cringe compilations. So, like, I you know, if I'm saying lay off.
Yeah, I can hear Trump. Stop saying I lost.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I just need to be reminded of the worst thing that's ever... Well, realistically, the only negative outcome he's ever received in his entire life. So.
Yeah, I mean, other than maybe personal losses and deaths in his family or whatever. But yeah, professionally, it was the biggest... Yeah. Well, also, it was not only the largest, just like in terms of scope humiliation, but it was global. Yeah. Everybody in the world knew he lost, and a lot of people were happy.
Yeah. Well, because he was still arguing about, like, oh, the court case is still ongoing and I'm going to challenge them and blah, blah, blah. And world leaders were literally holding international calls with Biden.
With
like,
Biden.
The truth of the world around you has moved past you. And that's why the last days of the Trump administration was so bizarre, because the rest of the world had totally moved on. There was no way he could do anything about this. And so he had a cabal, an actual cabal of crazy bastards like Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani and fucking Linwood talking nonsense, and Trump delusionally downfall Hitlering the situation.
Yeah.
Mad.
How? It has worked 100% of the time. 100% of the time in the United States, when the people had been fed up with and had enough of the occupant of the White House, they changed the occupant of the White House.
Okay. Okay, but again, was anyone saying that American elections haven't worked?
No, and
well,
also
other than Donald Trump, who literally seems to disagree that the last one did.
He just said that people of America got fed up with Trump and kicked him out of the White House.
Yeah. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. Oh, poor old Trumpy Wumpy Wumps.
Karma's a bitch.
Yeah. Exactly, not just that, but you're piling on a retiree now, Mr. Castor, a weird old retiree in Florida playing golf, which is where retirees belong, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Florida is like the state for retirees.
And the fact that he's been doing that also for the last 4 years on weekends as well.
Right. Well, Virginia is for high lovers, and Florida is for retired seniors.
Yeah. Who also, some of them are probably pretty high, whether through prescription medication or otherwise.
Yeah, Florida, man.
Now, I know that one of the strengths of this
we can't fucking hear you if you walk away from the microphone. What? You're not in a tiny little room, mate. What the fuck?
No, you're not in a courtroom. There's not like a jury panel that you can walk up and down. You need to stand where you can be heard.
Yeah. Fuck me. It's just, what an incompetent boob. Really? What an absolute arse cheek of a man.
This is just like a pointer. It's a masterclass on how not to present a legal argument in front of the Senate.
Yeah, this is gormless. Absolute nonsense.
It's deliberative action. And I saw Senator Manchin on the TV the other night talking about the filibuster.
Yeah,
and the main point was that Senator Manchin was explaining to those of us who don't operate here all the time that this body has an obligation to try to reach consensus across the aisle to legitimize the decisions it makes. Obviously, he's capable of making...
You don't have to be a senator to realize that.
Also, they're not senators right now, they're jurors.
Yeah, well, yeah. But even so, like, You don't need to. Like that. This is Senate 101. We need to reach bipartisan agreement to legitimize it. Yeah. What the fuck? That's not a high point of fucking process. That's like
Also,
general principle or whatever.
It's nice to have bipartisanship, but you know what? Majority rules. I mean, that's the Westminster model, right? They don't worry about bringing on all kinds of labor votes if they want to do something.
Yeah.
If they've got the votes within their party, they just do it. Because that's what happens. Elections have consequences.
Yeah. Also, nice reference to the Henry Kissinger song by Monty Python as well there in the chat.
I don't know if I know that
his own.
Henry Kissinger, how I'm missing you. It's like in a kind of vaudeville style or whatever. Or like,
Oh, okay. I'll have to go look that up.
not as good as Eric the Half a Bee, which is a tune.
Pronouncements on it, but that's what it came across on the television. And I think that that is a good way of saying why the Senate of the United States is different than other places. You know, the Constitution is a document designed to protect the rights of the minority, not the rights of the majority. Congress shall make no law abridging all of these things. That's because those were the things that were of concern at the time.
This is a trial.
It's easy to be in favor of liberty and equality and free speech when it's popular.
Oh, fuck me. This is like a 2015 fucking free speech video now.
Oh, I know. It's like he went
If
to
he
the
says
4chan
fuck your
boards for
feelings at any
ideas.
point, I'm going to scream, I swear. Fucking hell.
Okay, thank you, Gaviston. Or Gaviscon? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I think that I want to give my colleague, Mr. Sean, an opportunity to explain to all of us
Get me the fuck off here. Where's the
legal
hook? Pull him
analysis
off the stage.
on jurisdiction.
Yeah, someone points out in the chat, he's just shooting the shit.
He is.
He's just having a kind of general ramble.
He's got a captive audience. He's done nothing with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Lace Argar says, alright, I don't have this dollar to give. What? Well, don't give it then. Sorry. Okay. I'm furious at this fucking loon. What the black shit does a term limit do to your cunting 100% success? Fuck, man. Obama would have been on rerun in 2016
Yeah.
if he could. Fucking pandemonium. This fatuous shit. This.
That felt like cathartic, I think.
Yeah.
It
And I
must have
think I
been
gave it the absolutely righteous K low T, low energy, raggedy. Reading of it as well.
I'll be quite frank with you. We changed what we were going to do on account that we thought that the House manager's presentation was well done.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
This sucks because I was blown away by them too. Like, I don't even have a defense anymore.
Yeah.
I couldn't come up here and give them any arguments because they did so good. So I just decided to numb your brain so you don't like process anything anymore.
Is this one of the first, if not the first time in legal history that a defense lawyer's gone up and gone, their presentation was so awesome, the shit I've prepared.
Like, I can't touch that.
Yeah.
Like, it's MC
These
Hammer.
are really good. Well done, well done, well done. Sorry, mate. Sorry, you in the dock there. You're going to hang for this. Sorry, mate. They
Sorry.
nailed it.
I mean, you saw it, right? You were here, obviously.
Yeah.
You're in manacles. But, like, this, come on.
Yeah,
Sid,
I mean,
you're guilty.
you would clap, obviously, but your arms are tied to the okay. But other than that, like come on. What do you expect me to do here? I'm trying my best, but I've got nothing.
Yeah, you know I don't have a case, right?
Yeah.
You all know that, right?
Yeah.
But he gets counsel, so someone got to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, I mean, technically, I'm going to try and defend you, but yeah, we've lost. We lost this one. Sorry. Like I don't know. That's a strong legal gambit, really.
No, it's a bold opening statement.
Lace, if you don't have the dollar to give, why have you given another dollar? Bless you, but you don't need to do that. Right, again, okay, I'm going to give my low T thing again. Bastard son of a bitch, why are you here? What did you do to your life to get this podium? Why are you? I'm not better. Thank you. That's like a weird, not quite appropriate length haiku.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And I wanted you to know that we have responses to those things. I thought that
I don't have them right now.
Exactly. I don't have them right this very second, but we do have responses, and we will begin back to you next week. amazing. Again, this has got to be unprecedented in the annals of legal history. We're going to walk up there and go, their presentation was so good. We definitely have responses, though, honest. You're just going to have to trust us, though. We do, honest.
What was the name of the guy that left his case like 10 days ago? Was it like Butch or
he had one
Sparky?
of those amazing names like Butch
Rusty.
Bowers.
Was it Butch Bowers?
Butch Bowers, which is that's a fake person. That person doesn't exist, surely.
I mean, I don't know Butch Bowers, and if he's working for Trump and knows Lindsey Graham, he's probably an asshat. But yeah. I just like to think of Butch Bowers sitting somewhere with a sort of like a heavy crystal cut glass with some, I don't know, whiskey in it or scotch or something, sipping it, watching this, thinking, yeah, Trump, yeah, bitch, you want to fire me? This is what you get.
Well, Giuliani must be sitting at home thinking, wow, thankfully, I'm now not the worst fucking lawyer in America. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh.
I love Trans Gamer Girl, bless them. It keeps putting the link in the chat, and I appreciate it enormously. They're basically doing the job that I should get the Twitch bot to do. But thank you. I think I have to pay for that, though. You have to buy like an OBS bot thing or something. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Thanks, Trans
what the
Gamer
first
Girl.
part of the case was, which was
awesome.
the equivalent of a motion to dismiss, was going to be about jurisdiction alone. And one of the fellows who spoke for the House manager...
One of the fellas. Oh, God. I mean, ignoring the sexist language, it doesn't really... Wait, that bit's not relevant to the legal thing. The fact that you didn't know who it was you're referencing... Again,
one of the fellas.
Yeah, so it was one of the senators who said a thing or something, I can't remember, and then one of the fellows over there said a thing as well. You're like, this is one of the most imprecise.
Yes.
I mean, it's an insult to the intelligence of everyone in the room and everyone watching. But then again, so is the entire GOP at this point. But this is embarrassing. This genuinely, America, this is how the world is beginning to see you. Like we always, regardless of how people may have perceived the right or wrong of American foreign policy and all the rest of it throughout time is neither here nor there, to the point that it was always respected that America had its shit together.
Mm-hmm. Domestically.
Yeah, that's not the case anymore. No one looks at America and thinks, yeah, they got their shit down.
Not this is not this guy. No. Yeah. And again, he was sat there. I'm pretty sure you're allowed to use your mobile phones because I've read about the senators being on theirs.
Yeah.
Just go to CNN, go to the managers, and then see the picture, see the person speaking, write their name down on a piece of paper.
Yeah. If you're going to, they said, oh, that's a good thing. Okay, so Senator blah from such a place. And then a rough quote. It doesn't have to be word for word verbatim because it'll be in the record anyway, but you give a general. But you've got to actually say, like, yeah, Dave Jones from Alabama or whatever. Like that's really simple, man. Fuck me. That's so basic, and you can't even do that.
I mean, that is right up there with some woman said something I can't quite remember, and then some people said something about walking it back, and then she said something. But anyway, let me move on.
It's disrespectful nonsense. Yeah.
Who's the former criminal defense attorney, seemed to suggest that there's something nefarious, that we were discussing jurisdiction and trying to get the case dismissed. But this is where it happens in the case, because jurisdiction is the first thing that has to be found. We have counter arguments to everything that they raised.
And it was found,
bad ones,
by the way, because
we've got shit arguments.
They even got
got bad ones.
They even got 6 fucking Republicans to vote that they did have jurisdiction. So yeah. I mean, they'll still vote to acquit him because they're scum, but...
Yeah, only 5 people voted last time around, which means this guy convinced 1 Republican.
They should
keep going, mate.
Yeah, what they should have done is not even bother with their arguments and just say, we yield our time to Mr. Castor. He can have all the time he wants. That's fine.
Give him 16 hours nonstop. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, we're going to turn this into the Castor show. By all means, have at it, Haas.
Yeah.
And you will hear them later on in the case from Mr. Vanderveen and from myself. But on the issue of jurisdiction, the scholarly issue of jurisdiction, I'll leave you with this before I invite David to come up and give you the
He's going through this, thumbing through the fucking thing again.
Some of this was shown on the screen, but Article 1, Section 3 says judgments in cases of impeachment shall not extend further than to removal from office and disqualification to hold any office of honor, trust, profit under the United States, but the party convicted shall nevertheless be liable and subject to indictment.
You don't need to pronounce the punctuation, my friend. It's not there to be spoken. It's there. I mean, it's there to influence the way in which it's spoken.
Yes,
but
it's interpreted.
You don't. I mean, I do it as a joke when I'm reading War Corps to say comma because he notedly didn't put the comma in. If the colon is there and it's appropriate, you breeze past it, my friend. It's fine. It's fine. Fucking hell. You're literally going to read the whole thing. Yeah.
You don't do E.G. do you? You just go.
No. Just
for instance.
For instance.
Yeah, is that for instance? Or is I.E. is example?
E.G. E.G.
Yeah, there's a difference between them. I remember them sometimes.
E.T.C.
Oh, wait. Oh, I.E. means that is to say, whereas E.G. is, I think, examples.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Anyway, so, yeah. Let's have the 9-year-old's first read of the documents or something. I don't know.
Trial, judgment, and punishment according to law. So this idea of a January amnesty is nonsense. If my colleagues on this side of the chamber actually think that President Trump...
The person in the chat makes a very good point that colon is appropriate for this performance because he has been speaking out of his ass.
Out of his ass, yes.
Criminal offense. And let's understand, a high crime is a felony and a misdemeanor is a misdemeanor. The words haven't changed that much over time.
Well done.
What?
After he's out of office, you go and arrest him.
Yeah, go on.
Well, no, I mean, a high crime, I mean, if they said felonies, if they meant felonies, they would have said felonies. But high crimes can also be things that are like egregious violations of the public trust that might not be specified in law in some specific way.
Also, it can be doing a murder after you've smoked a blunt.
What?
A high crime.
A high crime.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's a word I misinterpreted.
Yes, for comic effect.
I am very funny. My parents would be enormously proud of me.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they can't work computers. So there is no opportunity where the President of the United States can run rampant in January at the end of his term and just go away scot-free. The Department of Justice does know what to do with such people. And so far, I haven't seen any activity.
So he's basically saying, yeah, he should be in prison instead. Yeah, you know the person I'm here to defend? Really, he should be in jail instead. So that's fine.
Oh, okay. So we should just send the FBI after him instead of doing impeachment.
Checkmate.
That's his solution. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I'm fine with that. I would take him being imprisoned over being impeached.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's already been impeached, but convicted.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's more symbolic and also to prevent him from running for office. But actual criminal, it won't replace actual criminal charges and time served and fines and all that. Definitely not. Oh, time for Kevin to perform his door closing duties. Now he's going to feed him as well. Okay, so once again, like almost 200 people are brought to a screeching halt because of Roy Katz. We all know who's in charge here. We all are able to do the stream as long as Roy Katz lets us. But really, we're all here, we're here at the grace of, the pleasure of Roy Katz. Kevin, are you back yet? You're taking a long time.
I said I was going to feed him, so I'm back. His bowl's only there. Anyway.
Does he have bowls all over the house?
No, just upstairs.
Why upstairs? Why not in the kitchen where it's easier to clean it up?
Cats get in.
Other cats break into your house and eat the food?
Yeah. So I have to hide it away from the other cats. I've come home before from work. Back in the days when work was a thing that British people did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We weren't on permanent fucking lockdown. I'd come home and there'd be like 2 cats on my bed. One of which would be Rory Katz and another cat, and they'd just be asleep on my fucking bed.
You have a party, they crash out on your bed.
That's essentially how Chopsy, God rest his soul.
Oh, yeah.
How he did his thing. That's how he got in. He just used to just sort of come in. And eventually I was just like, oh, you live here now? Okay. He just sort of moved himself in gradually.
It's like a friend. I just need to stay here for a night. Oh, can I stay one more night? Can I stay for a week? And then suddenly, you've got a roommate who doesn't pay rent.
Yeah, no, I don't mind other cats coming in, but I don't know if they've been flea'd or not. And they're on my fucking bed.
Sure.
It's a bit weird and gross.
Yeah, fair
and
enough.
also, Rory cats, you're supposed to be territorial, dude. Fuck me.
He's a lover, not a fighter. In that case.
Well, he hasn't got any balls, so I'm not sure he's that either. And I don't mean that in a pejorative sense. He literally, he's been done.
Yeah, but he still likes company.
True.
The people who stormed this building and breached it were not accused of conspiring with the president. But the section I read, judgment, in other words, the bad thing that can happen, the judgment, in cases of impeachment, i.e. what we are doing, shall not extend further than removal from office. What is so hard about that? Which of those words are unclear? Shall not extend further than removal from office. President Trump no longer...
Yeah.
He was he was impeached while he was in office.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's also, again, not only is there a tweet for everything Trump's ever said, there's now a speech quote for everything as well, because there was a quote he gave in 2018 or something talking about Obamagate, in which he said that, obviously, after Obama had been, not in office anymore, saying they should impeach him. Well
of
done.
course there is.
You're undermining your own legal fucking...
Yep.
Own legal. Defense, again. Defense.
Yeah,
is in office. The object of the Constitution has been achieved. He was removed by the voters.
Yeah, but that's not what... When it says removal, it doesn't mean removal by the voters. Specifically, it's saying removal by the people in power.
Yep.
The people in office, I should say. Yeah.
Also, and you can't bar someone from holding office if they haven't been impeached.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's a specious argument entirely. And they know it.
Now that
okay, so that's a thing that happened. It really shouldn't have, but it did.
I know, I'm a little bit just stunned when I sort of just take it in again and react to it more in the moment than just to be fair, I was doing other things while I was listening, playing chess.
Oh God, Kristi, you have to make it more nerdy.
Oh yeah, I was listening to the impeachment while I was playing chess.
I was doing coke and rock and roll stuff.
That was my relaxing Tuesday night off air.
By which I mean ironing and
of course I go on at
things.
1 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday, but yeah.
Indeed. Anyway, so yeah, that was the thing. We had to take you through that because that guy was fucking incredible.
That was history.
Cannot believe that car crash was a thing, but it was.
And it went on forever. It went on for 40 minutes.
It did. 40 minutes, and he said nothing.
Nothing.
I'm surprised that the Capitol building didn't float away with that amount of hot air in it.
or I was going to think a sea of bullshit. That's what I was picturing. It was going to be in the Ark.
Indeed. So, should we go to bookmarks?
Oh, God. It's already 12:30 in the morning. We've gone for 2.5 hours.
Bookmarks?
No, we'll save them for Friday.
No, bookmarks. I've got mostly nonsense anyway.
Okay. Do you have a half, when it's going to take us, how far down is your... Okay. Yep, that's fine.
Okay, so we've got...
sometimes when Kevin does... You guys can't see this on the screen. Sorry, I just ruined your thing. But on the far right side, there's the scrolling thing. And sometimes when Kevin starts his bookmark, it's a teeny tiny little slightly darkened square. And then there's a whole lot of room above it. So, but
I've
tonight's
got mostly rubbish as well, so we get through it pretty quick.
Yeah, this is fun.
If you ever felt down, just remember that somewhere out there is a cat wearing a dish towel cape on a mission to save the world.
Or a representative from the Virgin Islands who is also wearing a cape.
Yeah. Or there's a cat doing a legal brief. So.
I'm not a cat.
I'm not a cat. Judge agrees to release prominent Proud Boy leader in the Capitol riots, which is white privilege nonsense, but also another one of them was refused bail as well. So it's a bit hit and miss, I think, dependent on which judge you get or something. I don't know. Anyway. This was a nice video of this is a guy skating over, this is Lake Baikal in southern Russia. And you can see all the way down to the bottom through the ice.
Oh, wow.
It's just kind of beautiful. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Oh God! Someone did a joke about gender reveal artillery barrage, right?
Yes.
That's 3 arrows. But then this actually happened. A man was killed after being struck by shrapnel from an exploding cannon used at a baby shower in Michigan.
Yeah, it wasn't a gender reveal party, but it's basically in the same ballpark.
Yeah. Why have you got munitions?
Apparently, I read the story. Apparently, they had this novelty cannon that they would fire off. I know. And it exploded.
Oh, fucking idiots.
But yeah, why? And why is that even legal?
Yeah. That's what I've said before. Heterosexuals need to be stopped. Anyway. Perfect representation. Absolutely perfect.
I see the family resemblance. Yeah. Oh, wait, that's not a picture?
And also that one. It's exactly the same. Perfect.
Oh, gosh. That looked like an English backyard to me or somewhere in Britain, guy.
Yeah, again, Fox News goes to bat for the weirdest people. The guy who got a bit of shade because he was using dog shampoo.
Okay. I missed this. I got Gorilla Glue Girl, but what's the guy?
He was using dog shampoo, and he was like, oh, I didn't realise it was dog shampoo. And it was still...
in his hair.
Fine. Yeah, it was fine, because dog hair's not that different to human hair.
It's just detergent.
Yeah. But anyway,
it's all detergent. If it's on your hands or in your hair.
People were kind of dragging him because he was using dog shampoo, which is a bit funny. And Fox News were like, this is cancel culture. Dickheads. Absolute dickheads.
Oh, no, I want to hear this. I want to hear this.
Anyway, this is Mark Stein, who was going to be, I actually half-produced the episode. It was going to be the next episode of The Descent of Manosphere.
Oh,
but
okay.
I just stopped bothering making proper content. Well, I've got back to it a little bit recently, but... Yeah.
And none of it went anywhere until the other day when he did a throwaway tweet revealing that for the last 3 months he'd accidentally been washing his hair with his dog's shampoo. And next thing you know, big-time Hollywood star Seth Rogen and small-time lefty hack Keith Olbermann and the rest of the blue checker were pounding on him.
By the way, did you see that Seth Rogen got into a Twitter DM spat with Count Dankula?
No.
Yeah, Seth Rogen was jumped into Count Dankula's DMs saying fuck you, basically.
Awesome.
And they got into a little back and forth. It was very funny. So now Seth Rogen knows Nazi pug guy, which is a very 2021 sentence.
Yes.
Jonathan Kay joins us tonight. Jonathan, as I think you put it in one of your tweets, this escalated rather quickly.
Talking about Twitter drama.
It was really strange. It was supposed to be this self-deprecating joke, and I tweeted it, and then I don't know. I think I walked my dog, and then I checked my phone. It was like Seth Rogen.
You're giving airtime to this guy.
Calling me names. It was a very surreal way to spend my Sunday morning.
And then thing that happens that you really don't want when you're in a Twitter spat with Seth Rogen is that your mum decided to chip in on your behalf and suggest that he work this into a subplot for his next movie. And you didn't appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, Mum, but I got this. How does he make this think this makes him look good? This is
my mom pushed me aside and she's so thirsty for Seth Rogen. She pushed me aside on Twitter to get his attention.
Yeah, this is so much worse than just a bit of mild mockery on Twitter. This is so much more embarrassing, dude. Fuck, just leave it.
Tell us how your mom fucked you over.
Yeah, Mom wants some fucking Seth Rogen D, so she embarrassed me on Twitter. Oh, that's grim.
Yeah, it's not a good look when family members jump in. But I was very disappointed in Seth. And by the way, I just, at first,
I'm disappointed.
My response to him was like, look, maybe this guy's going through a bad thing. He got into spats.
No,
gaslighting.
Of course he's a Quillette editor. Yeah. Of course he is.
Oh, he's a piece of shit. Yeah. No, that's how he got on Fox News, obviously. Yeah. But I'm sorry, but you smell that? It's the scent of desperation, which is like fear perspiration coming off Fox News. I mean, they're giving this airtime. They are giving this airtime. This is a national
prick.
They're a national network, and they're interviewing a nobody journalist from a far right rag about a Twitter drama, and then they humiliate the guy, and he was humiliated already because his mom pushed him aside. She's so thirsty. She's trying to trip Seth up in order to get underneath him. And then they put it on national television. They humiliate him nationally. Like before, it was just Twitter, but now it's Fox News. Salt in the wound, mate. Absolutely. Okay, I'm running out of ways to expand this and extend this and be funny. So can you please stop trying to pick something up with your foot and sit down? I'm not. You are trying to pick something up with your foot. I can see you. You're awkwardly
bleeding shade. So I can get the Rory cats on camera again. No! The fucking cat! Anyway. That was worth it. Anyway, yeah, so that dickhead. Anyway, right. Oh yeah, this is a nice quote. It was Thomas Paine's birthday yesterday. Good dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sarah Palin got into it with Piers Morgan on live. Again, America, this is how you're viewed around the world now, by the way. So
Oh, please. Yes.
Millions of people in Britain saw this.
Wait, let me get the popcorn out for watching two people I despise have a fight.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
The president has been insisting, so many Americans have been insisting that our elections are run legally and transparently. And when there were shenanigans, obviously, in so many of the polling areas, the president has insisted that we look into where all these votes had come from.
Yeah, but the election wasn't stolen, was it, Sarah Palin? Let's be honest. Let's be clear. The election was won.
There were shenanigans.
Sarah, the election was.
You know how,
the election was won. Let me just say something.
And there always is.
Sarah, the election was won. The election was won fair and square by a thumping win by Joe Biden. Do you accept that?
I want to see that our elections and every polling place is run cleanly. Now, I was a governor.
The question was, do you accept the election victory by Joe Biden?
This is crazy. If you guys invited me to come on, let me
pause. To the question.
You didn't answer my question.
She is not used to British journalists.
No.
So they're very different from American journalists. That's why she's acting all offended now, because like American journalists pander to politicians in order to get them on air. And politicians use that to avoid tough questions. Well, and in Britain, they don't give a fuck.
It's not just politicians. It's basically anyone. If you make a claim, they'll, you know. That's why dickhead Shapiro got so annoyed when Andrew Neil asked him basic questions. Because in America, they'll just ask you a question, and like Sarah Palin did, you don't answer, and they'll just let you ramble for a minute.
Exactly.
No, we asked you a very specific question. Did Joe Biden win the election? It's a very yes or no question.
Yeah, I'm not standing Piers here. I'm standing British journalist tactics. Sometimes it can be boring and go too far, but it can be effective.
I'm standing his neck and nothing more.
You have an intimate relationship with his neck.
I do.
Okay, yeah.
Me and the neck go back.
If you want to
finish, okay?
Why do you answer the question?
Finish. Now, I'm talking about clean elections. And I know that shenanigans do take place in elections. As a governor, I witnessed that also. And we were always having to crack down through Division of Elections and the Lieutenant Governor's office.
Can you answer the question,
the bureaucrats who are in charge of it. Because, for instance, we had Barack Obama's right-hand man.
Let's not talk about Obama. He hasn't been in... Obama's not been in office for 4 years. Sarah, you can't filibuster us. Now listen, let's go back to the question. The question was, do you accept that Joe Biden...
Okay, let's go back to the question.
Let me ask you a question, and you answer my question. Look, did Joe Biden...
Let's go back to the first question.
Did Joe Biden win... Did Joe Biden... Let me try and answer a question.
Topic of the rioters on the
Did Joe Biden win the election?
Can we please finish the topic? Why don't you just skip on over that?
Oh, God, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
This is grown men booing a TV.
You fucking bum! Fuck you! Fuck you! He needs a talker for him. Fuck you!
That's grown men being very, very adult about the situation.
To be honest, if I was with a bunch of my friends and Trump came on, I would probably do the same thing.
Maybe. Nice one.
Secondly, on President Biden's transgender rights executive action, specifically when it applies to high school sports. What message would the White House have for trans girls and cis girls who may end up competing against each other and sparking some lawsuits and some concern among parents. So does the administration have guidance for schools on dealing with disputes arising over trans girls competing against and with cis girls?
I'm not sure what your question is.
The president's executive order.
I'm familiar with the order, but what was your question about it?
My question is, does the president have a message for local school officials on dealing with these kind of disputes that are already starting to arise between, trans girls who are competing and cis girls, and a level playing field? It's particularly in high school sports when it leads to college scholarships. Is there any kind of messaging
This is
or
begging the
clarification
question,
the White
isn't
House
it?
wants to give on the executive order?
I would just say that the president's belief is that trans rights are human rights, and that's why he signed that executive order. And in terms of the determinations by universities and colleges, I would certainly defer to them.
So, yeah.
I was pretty much viewing Biden's election as making sure Trump didn't win. I had no idea he was going to be as good as he's turned out to be.
Well, the president says trans rights. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's having. Yeah, I just think it's wonderful to see this from the podium of the White House press secretary. That is the policy of the president of the United States. It's just, it's such a relief, It's just wow, such a difference.
This was what do you call it? One a satirical article, but it was still funny because it was knobby enough that it could have been true. Lindale Capitol Raiders were drugged by Antifa slots.
What?
He didn't actually say that; it's a satire one, but it's nonsense enough that it could that's believable that he could have said that.
We did see his video. We know.
Yeah, he's a cat mesmerized by snow.
Oh. Their tails are their tells.
Yeah.
You can see everything that's happening.
Does not know what the fuck is going on with all this white stuff. What's going on here?
Love it. Love it.
The fuck's sake, the legal understander has logged on. Stephen Crowder, known idiot, says Congress is acting like judge and jury, and they don't have the legal authority to do so.
Actually, they do.
That's literally the point of the impeachment trial. You fucking idiot. Anyway. Oh, this will be quite nice when these get released. Ukraine, understandably, are not happy with the way the Trump administration treated them over the times.
Oh, they're going to bring the hammer now.
Yeah, an ally of Ukraine's president is offering to help the Southern District of New York investigation after a separate effort to help Giuliani disbarred. Plus, he released a transcript of Ukraine's first call with Giuliani. Yeah, they're coming for him.
Never get involved in a land war in Asia.
Indeed.
Don't go to war with this country, Judy.
Yeah.
Rudy. Sorry,
Yeah,
Judy.
Judy Giuliani.
Judy Giuliani, yeah.
Who's a singer from New York. Anyway, we've already watched them. The Great Awakening.win are really annoyed because for legal reasons, or not legal, for the fact that their servers were going to get removed and stuff, they've started to censor the N-word on their, and they're losing their fucking minds. This is 1984! Anyway.
Cry harder.
That's just a very, very cute cat.
Cracker. Oh, it's not fair. Cracker's not bad. No, it's not, Cracker.
No.
Cry more, Cracker.
Anyway, it's a cute cat, Kristi. Come on.
Sorry, I'm still going off on racists.
No, fair enough.
It is a cute cat, though. Yeah. Very adorable.
Big stretch.
Big stretch. Yeah. Right in the middle.
So choose your legal representation. Drippy Rudy, Lionel Hutz from The Simpsons, the cat, and this guy.
So who would you pick?
The cat. Because he's not a cat. Anyway.
I'm not a cat.
This is quite nice. I'll zoom that down for everyone so they can actually see it. It's on the screen. Yeah. Otherwise it doesn't work. Good. Do you need an attorney? Were you injured in an accident? You may be entitled to compensation for your injuries. For a free consultation, call Attorney Cat Esquire right now. 100 law cats. We'll get the money you need. Right, meow.
That is adorable. Very good. Sometimes the internet is worth it.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Anyway. There we go. That was the actual video, but we already saw it. Devin Nunes got banned on Twitter. Which is nice.
What?
Yeah.
Really? For what?
I don't know.
I didn't hear. How did I miss this?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's amazing.
Did he get
What did he do?
Or something? I don't know.
Yeah, they often like temp ban them, but they don't often boot them. It's a little too much for a representative.
Oh, no, he's back. Okay. I know that's Rep Devin Nunes. So is that a different account?
Might be. Yeah, I don't know what that account is. Was it a parody account?
Has been suspended by Twitter. I know, but it's back. Okay, so it was suspended, but it's back anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
But I was hoping it'd be permanent, just so I could say the cow outlasted him. But never mind.
Well, the cow has not been suspended that I'm ever aware of.
No, exactly. But if he gets suspended first, then we can say the cow outlived Devin.
Yes.
Which would be fun. Anyway, someone was photoshopping capybara into stuff, and I'm very much here for it. So you've got that one. That one's pretty good.
That is good.
That is good. We'll get back to that in just a second. Oh God, Andy, no. I think he thinks this quote helps him, and it doesn't. This is from the article by the LA Times. Every act of violence by Antifa is described so meticulously and ominously that Herr Goebbels would have been proud.
That's his review of his book, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but do you think Goebbels was being referenced positively there, Andy? Like they're not saying that in a good way.
Clueless. Well, for his audience,
yeah,
that's
probably.
The thing.
Yeah, oh,
that ups his cred.
Yeah, exactly. For his audience, he's going to put that on the fucking book cover.
Yeah, go back on all the reviews. Yeah. You know, that pages of glowing. This is Nazi propaganda.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reviews.
Marine Le Pen, the Nazi from France, is in court on hate speech charges. She could face 3 years in jail.
Ooh.
Which would be fun.
Yep.
That's Charles Dickens with a capybara.
Nice.
That's another capybara Star Wars one. There's Gandhi with his massive pet capybara.
This is like a thing for... Oh, this is a thread. Sorry.
Yeah,
I thought you bookmarked all of these.
No, I have bookmarked all of these. These are all different bookmarks. There are several I skipped over, Kristi. Be grateful that I was judicious in my bookmarking of capybara.
I saw that live, and it was weird.
Yeah. That's a capybara sleeping on the corpse of Lenin.
Yep.
Which is nice. There's a capybara in the... hang on.
In the Bernie mittens.
In the Bernie mittens. Fuck yes.
There you go.
And then there's a Lion King capybara. Then there's someone made their catnip into a joint for their cat. And it literally looks like he's smoking a spliff. It's adorable.
People have too much time on their hands during COVID.
But also it's called marijuana. Marijuana.
Get it?
That's because it's like, the Trump will not be allowed back on Twitter even if he runs for office and wins.
Fuck you.
Delicious.
Yep.
2021's so weird. As if this needs to be said in the Senate.
I want the record to reflect that I did not call Senator Sanders an ignorant slut. Okay?
Thank you. I don't know how I should take that, Senator Kennedy, but Senator King.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that there's a very old reference on Saturday Night Live back when Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi and that group were on a cohort.
Yeah.
And they had news anchors that would fight. And one of the famous lines was, Jan, you ignorant slut. And maybe that's what he's referencing. I'm being super charitable here. But otherwise, I am lost.
I don't know, but he had to point out that he didn't call the chair of the committee, Senator Sanders, an ignorant slut, which is superbly 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. Whoa. We got a mishmash of cat bits. I don't know what's going on there.
Cat yoga.
Indeed. That was me laughing at Trump not being allowed on Twitter. Good. Oh, chunky kitten baby.
Very chunky. Oh,
no.
So cute.
No.
Adorables.
Here's a floating cat.
Sunroof cat. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You thought you were going in somewhere. You're not.
Yeah. And I'm done.
Oh, all right.
Are we done then?
1 in the morning. Yes, we can be done.
Okay. So, yeah. Oh, shit.
What did you do now?
Kicked the microphone. And
You
so
see?
hard.
Picking it
that
up with your feet.
So hard that Rory Cat's turned around, as you can see there.
Like, what is going on back there?
Yeah. Okay. So that's hello, Rory Cats. That's a wave at Rory Cats. Anyway.
Hello.
So.
Hi.
Yes. What's going on here? Thank you to Public Citizen Limited, who's now following me on the Twitches.
Welcome.
Yes. So I'll yeah, we're done here.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to leave me and Kristi alone for a bit, because we're going to get to bed, I think.
Yeah, I think it's definitely bedtime. And I'll be back Friday, as usual.
Well, you'll be back Friday. I'll be back tomorrow.
Yes, you will.
Yes. Yes, I will.
Any idea? Probably impeachment stuff.
Probably a bit of impeachment stuff. I don't know what else.
Oh, on Friday, should we watch Sargon's reaction to the impeachment and find something suitable?
There's probably, there'll be something about that, won't there?
He's going to be flailing and hyperventilating. Oh, yes, and then you'll be able to use your super salty Sargon.
Well, you say mine, it's you did it.
Well, I gave it to you. Have you downloaded it yet?
No.
No,
I haven't.
No, of course not.
Anyway. I'll kick you over to the serfs, because they'll see what they're up to. Anyway. Yes. Thank you all for your listenings and your watchings. I'll be back tomorrow, because we'll be back Friday. And, yeah. Take care of yourself and each other, to quote Jerry Springer. Anyway. Lovely.
I was wondering, that seems so positive. Oh, it's Jerry Springer.
Modern reference for you there, of Jerry Springer, who hasn't been on TV for 15 years. Anyway. Yes, I'll. Goodbye from me and goodbye from Kristi. Say, goodbye, Kristi.
Goodbye, Kristi.
See you in a bit.